Testimony continued today in the most notorious criminal trial in Richland County. Dr. John Boyle is accused of killing his wife Maureen and burying her body.
The 12-year-old son finally took the stand.
Boyd confidently told the jury it was his decision to testify against his father.
I heard a scream. I heard a thud. It was about this loud.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
I decided at an early age that our trauma should not be what defines us. It's what we choose to do with it that does. I'm here to share my unique perspective on true crime, mental health, society, and popular culture, and always with a slight sense of humor. I'm Collier Landry, and welcome to my show. Live from Santa Monica, California, Mover Nation, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Wherever you may be and however you may be watching or listening, thanks for making me a part of your day. Lots to cover here. True crime creators under fire, 52 of them and counting, with a RICO lawsuit that was filed on October the 18th, which was, what is that? Friday. Wow, Friday. The whiner next to me is, as always, my lovely little sidekick that you all know and love, Little Miss Marisol, Little Miss Marisol. Oh, wow. So now this camera isn't working? What happened to our Marisol camera? Marisol, we have no camera for you. Let's see if this works. The Marisol camera, is it back? No. Technical difficulties, of course. Come here, sweetheart. I know. Let everybody see you. Okay. And why are you going so crazy, little one? Why are you going so crazy? Say hello to everybody. Everybody's here to see you, not me. No, look at the camera. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. What do you have? What do we have that you're going so crazy about? Yep, there it is. We have a bully stick, something that somebody dropped us off. A gift from one of you guys. Thank you so much. She is going to enjoy this. Of course, there's no camera for her today, so you'll just have to imagine. Marisol, there you go. You want to try this? Okay, good girl. All right. There we go. Okay, you can have this now. There you go. Good girl. Okay. Now she's preoccupied. We're good. We can work on stuff. We can talk about some Mover Nation. Thank you so much for joining. I have a couple of things that I want to throw up on the screen here. If you give me a second. One of the things that we are going to do is we are enabling Cash App and Venmo and PayPal because a lot of creators out there are utilizing these resources that I don't utilize. I don't think people see them in the comments. So we're going to throw it up on the screen so I can share with you all. Of course. I got two computers going. Oh my God. Oh boy. All right. Now we got, okay, great. This is what happens when you do too many things at once, like I do with my life. But this is how we have to keep the lights on. I hope everybody enjoyed yesterday's episode with David Kessler. I know that it's sort of off the beaten path, but honestly, the things that I really enjoy talking about are mental health. I'm not a huge, as you guys know, have been a part of the program. True crime has been something that I'm not typically too interested in a lot of the times. And today we're going to discuss this lawsuit. You will understand why, because it is just a bunch of mishigas that we don't enjoy being a part of. Oh, come on, Streamyard. Don't be this prick. We're going to get into this lawsuit. This involves a lot of creators, and it is it's a real thing. Thank you all so much. Jen DeSemio, thank you for being a 16-month channel member all the way from Mansfield, Ohio. Thank you so much. Richland County, what's up? How are you? My hometown of Mansfield, Ohio being represented. Thank you so much. And I'm going to put this, here we go. Okay. Oy vey. Are we live on Twitch? I don't even know. We're trying to do the Twitch thing. We got a lot of irons in the fire over here. We should be live on Facebook. What's up to everybody on Facebook? What's up to everybody on YouTube, everybody on Facebook. Everybody on LinkedIn. We're streaming to all the channels. And let me just kind of do away with some of this. Somebody logged me out of the workspace. Great. Now I can't get our notes, guys. If I'm logged out of the workspace, I can't get our notes for the episode. All right. We have a bunch of notes. We're getting to it. Apologies. We have a lot of people on the team, and somebody logged me out of the workspace, so I can't get the notes. Oy vey. Simplify your sign-in. Yeah, I want to simplify my sign-in. That's why I use the fingerprint every time. Unbelievable. Anyways, passkey created. Thank you so much. My God. That was a lot. It was a lot. Sorry to yell. It's a lot. It's very frustrating. Very frustrating when the when nothing's working properly. I want to give a shout out to everyone who's here, by the way. I gotta pop into another window. Turn the sound off here. Enter studio. It says I'm live on all the platforms. I promise you, we're getting to what we're going to talk about. Stop cam and mute myself. Great. All right. Yes, there we go. There's a heart. I don't know where the heart is from. Thank you so much for the heart. Yes, falling star tonight. I have a very unique perspective on all this, as you see in the intro. Again, let me see if I can try to make this little camera show up again, just so we can see the Marisol camera. Yeah, it's not working. Oh, well. Technology. Hey, Hound Doggy. Hi, Cat loves cat skills. Hello, Karen Fan. Gen X to the 7th power. Thank you so much to all my moderators that are here joining us. Hello, Jody DDA, a new member. Thank you so much for joining. We have some new members to announce, by the way. By the way, big shout out to my dear friend Sophia Zabo. It is her birthday today. She is over the age of 40 now. And yeah, happy birthday, Sophia. Sarah Holman says the 49ers and the Chiefs are playing. I know, as a 49ers fan, I'm not an optimist on this game, just so you know. It's a must win for us, which means we will lose. Oh, the 49ers. What can I say? Only worst thing is to be a Browns fan. All right, so I want to give some more shout outs here. We have Zet. Thank you so much for joining and being a moderator. Hound Doggy is here. Jen DeSemio, member for 16 months. Shoot it for now. You love my Chihuahua. Thank you so much. I love her too. Marie Hathaway, thank you so much for joining. Heather C, hello. Red Ford. Donder and Blitzen means thunder and lightning. That's funny. Leo the Lioness is here. Sandra Neal is here. Who else we got? All right. Rebecca Bruce, hello. Falling Star Tonight, hello. TJ, the girl with the big dog. I'm so confused. I need to go back and watch. I'm the new kid here. Hey, you got to check out all the stuff on the channel, everything. Hello, happy Sunday to you as well, Trash Cat. Hello, Breezy Bear. What's going on? Is that a bear or is that a raccoon? I think it's a bear in your avatar. Emily Pickles, hello. Hey, Mona. Hi, KK. Hi, all. Is that KK that I know? KK from long ago? Who knows? Blast from the past. If it is, hello, KK. How you doing? You will have to meet Marisol one day. If this is the KK that I'm thinking of, she knew Elvis and Blondie, which is long before I was ever on here. Well, Blondie was around when I was on YouTube, but not Elvis. If it is not the KK I know, then it is not. She does not know Elvis and Blondie. All right. So a couple of things. We're gonna put a little banner here. It's gonna scroll. All right. So as we have discussed, this show is made possible by viewers and supporters like you. If you are a channel member or a Patreon supporter, thank you so much for your support. If you would like to support otherwise, and you are not a channel member and you want to do something to help, you can always use our links that are in the description of the show notes. But you can also support us via Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal. It is a great way to to support the program. And if you also want to support by shopping, because 'tis the season, the holidays are among us, you can use my Amazon Associates link, which is amazon.com/callyourlandry /shop/callyourlandry, amazon.com/shop/callyourlandry. And you can support the channel that way. It's free, costs you nothing. I make a small commission on what you buy. It's an Associates link. It's great. It's a great way to support without having to spend a dime. And, it's a very modest little amount that I get, but every little bit helps, keeps the light on, keeps the lights on, and allows us to make content for you guys. Enough of the spiel, but I'm going to let the Cash App and all that stuff too go through. We might even be bold enough to bring in some live callers. Oh man, did I leave? I left the tripod downstairs I would use. Oh, I got something else maybe I can use. We might bring in some live callers. We're still trying to figure that out with the phone. But we can use the phone. Our trusty iPhone 15 will do the job. I will post that number if you guys want to call in and talk about this with me. Okay, so Big Trouble Little China. Do you guys remember that movie? That was like out when I was a kid. I remember watching that film. Big Trouble in the true crime creator community here on YouTube, on TikTok, on all these other forums and places. And look, as you guys watch the intro to the show, you see that I have a unique perspective on true crime and all this stuff. And I, for a very long time, have resisted talking about a lot of cases. Look, I talked about the Karen Reed case for a little while this year because so many people bombarded me about it. And look, it was great. And it was a very interesting case. I think a lot of people who are members of this channel or who are subscribers discovered me through the Karen Reed case. Those of you recently probably discovered me. I was on the channel Soft White Underbelly, actually wearing the same shirt, as a matter of fact. Isn't that weird? So I have a very unique perspective on all of this because as someone who has survived this whole true crime thing, and done their best to sort of to do my best, do the best with my life that I can, fixing my hair. Man, hair is just a challenge today. I have a unique perspective on all this, and one of the things I think that I became really acutely aware of during the Karen Reed case is after the Karen Reed, because we were streaming the trial, which, by the way, for some creators, I'm sure you guys have gotten notices from the Associated Press over in the UK is now claiming all of the trial footage. And other creators and channels have tried to create and sort of commandeer footage that has been played, including stuff from Fox News. Like when I covered the assassination attempt on President Trump's life, or former President Trump's life. I mean, he was still president. I don't know, whatever. Former President Trump's life. Some hip hop channel tried to claim that I stole their segment because they had a song. I was like, no. And of course, I won the appeal on YouTube. But the Associated Press is now coming after creators as well who have been streaming parts of news broadcasts for the trial, which is interesting because Court TV was the one who streamed Karen Reed's trial and then dispersed that out to the different networks, or maybe it was Law and Crime. One of them, they had the courtroom feeds, which they have had for years, and they disperse that to the Associated Press, not the other way around. So they're now claiming parts of creators' money because they're saying, well, it's a copyright infringement on us because you're using our copywritten material, which is very interesting because in a lot of ways, what we do as creators is we play these things and we share our opinions and we're creating new content, and it's covered under Creative Commons license on YouTube and throughout the internet and all throughout the universe, etc. So it's interesting when these little tidbits come up. So I'm very aware of this, and it was, to me, I saw all the creators who came around with Karen Reed's case and after the fact and started making videos or started channels to stream true crime live trials, things of that nature. It was very, very, very informative to see all these channels just like kind of pop up out of nowhere and be like, I've never even heard of this person. Who is this person that is now streaming true crime, which is totally fine, by the way. I'm not kvetching it. I'm not saying that someone cannot do that. What I am merely saying is that I think that it's spurned this little cottage industry. And so now more true crime creators have flooded places like YouTube, TikTok, obviously Twitter is its own unique sort of enigma. But these platforms to be authorities on true crime or to give opinions. I, again, someone who has lived through true crime or who has had, I'm not really interested in anyone that has not been through anything. Like, I don't want someone's, if it's one thing if they're sharing their story, but if they're giving me analysis of what they think about a case, I don't want to hear it unless you're a former detective, you're a lawyer, or you're a victim, or you're somehow involved directly in the case. Other than that, I don't really care. I don't care. And I've talked about this for a really long time. Wow, my pop socket is stuck to my thing, my little pop socket. I've talked about this for a long time because there's so many creators that weigh in this. They made a ton of money, but they make it into entertainment, which is the commodification of these things is very real. And I was listening to one of my favorite programs, which is Real Time with Bill Maher. Now, sorry, I'm really thirsty. I just ran 5 miles. I was listening to Bill Maher over the weekend, and there's a young man, we cannot remember his name to save the life of me. He was involved in the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas school shooting that happened. I've interviewed a survivor of that. This happened in 2018, but he was talking about I talk a lot about the commodification of true crime, the commodification of people suffering. One of the things he was talking about is the commodification of hate, and vitriol. And that has been something that has been very prevalent obviously in politics. For those of you that follow politics, you recognize this. You got 102 watching. So my let's start a poll, by the way. David Hogg, thank you so much, David Hogg. I was going to say David Gogg, but I was like, I know that's not his right name. David Hogg, yeah, very, very articulate young man. I don't agree with everything he said. Also, interestingly enough, David Hogg's father is an FBI agent, which also, and why can't I remember her name? She was a guest on my show. I'm terrible. Her name is Elizabeth. Really, YouTube. Elizabeth Stout, who's one of his classmates. Father was also an FBI agent, federal agent. So a lot of kids went to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas who had fathers that were that were in the FBI. Interesting. Not making this out to be a conspiracy theory or anything like that. Just an interesting fact. That's it. David Hogg's father's an FBI agent. Talked a lot about the commodification of hate, which I, again, getting back to this, there's a lot of commodification of true crime, of people suffering, and of hate, venom, vitriol, and doxing and things of that nature. So there is this lawsuit which has been presented on the 18th. Yes, by the way, I was just making a statement. Google has locked me out, guys. Not accusing anyone, just saying I'm locked out. No hurt feelings, guys. There's a lot of hands in the pie over here at the channel. And Google will lock you out sometimes. It just happens. So that said, this lawsuit, which has come up, and my point is, as I'm trying to get through your comments and trying to organize all of my things here. Okay, there we go. Great. Fantastic. There are so many creators who have come in, who've sort of stepped into this world that don't quite understand how it works. For one thing, freedom of speech is something that is really, and I was having a conversation with Karen Fan, channel moderator, website designer, has been an amazing asset to me and this channel. And so thank you so much to Karen. Thank you so much to Sherry Falls as well. They're on the team. Can't do it without you guys. Can't do it without all our mods. Zet, Gen X to the 7th power. Cat loves cat skills. Thank you all so much. Okay. And obviously the channel supporters and Patreon supporters. But I was discussing with Karen, we were talking about freedom of speech, and freedom of speech is, designed to protect our freedom of speech against our government, right? Does not mean that you can get onto a public platform and just start to assassinate people's characters, accusing them of doing things that they may or may not have done. That's why we have the court system, the judicial system. This is why we have people who are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So they are not hung out to dry. This is not the Salem Witch Trials. We do not tar and feather people in town square like we did, centuries ago. People are guaranteed the due process of the law. And I think when you look at certain cases of recent, probably the most prominent would be Karen Reed. You've seen a lot of people go online and have one narrative versus another narrative, and you see this polarization, right? And so they start doxing people, or they start stalking people, using air quotes on that, or pursuing people in public venues to get them to comment, or accusing them of certain things. I saw a recent post on Twitter with regard to the Karen Reed case, where people were putting decorating for Halloween in the Canton, Massachusetts area, and putting tombstones in their yards with people's names that were involved either as witnesses or are thought of as potential ancillary characters or even perpetrators of a crime against John O'Keefe or against Karen Reed, or somehow caught up in some conspiracy theory. I don't live there. I don't know these people from Adam. I've talked to people around the case. There's a lot of differing opinions on it. It's not my business. I comment on it like, okay, this is what I think is going on, but I cannot speak to what the community has experienced. I'm just sharing what I'm told. However, when people go out and they say these things, or they accuse people of committing crimes, like actual crimes, including murder, that's not good, first of all. And your free speech is not really protected in that way. And to go and abuse and accuse people, you sort of just have to kind of, use the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have them do to you. And I think that is where this particular lawsuit that we're going to get into has brought up some really, really good points, because things like doxing, for example, should not be allowed. You should not be allowed to put people's, and there are people that do this, and there are people that call people out online, and there are certain protections that are afforded people in the law that law enforcement look at and can consider threats or not threats, right? And it's I went through a lot of this a year ago. I was partners in a podcast. My podcasting partner went after somebody in a public forum. I tried to calm cooler heads will prevail. It not only sabotaged that project, which cost me well over $50,000 of my own personal money, but also did a lot of damage to me in the last year. I was just a bystander. And I was doxxed. I was brought forth by different true crime communities, and a lot of people came after me, primarily because they didn't know my story, and they just but then when they did know my story, they sent me things such as like they were glad that my mother was murdered because I deserved it. So really heinous things are said. People get their pitchforks, they light their torches, and they get behind a cause, and they don't really seem to think about their actions. So at the time, I had contacted a very good friend of mine in federal law enforcement and said, look, what are my options here? Because people are putting my address online. People are threatening to come to my house. People are threatening people around me. What do I do? And I learned what my options were, and I was like, okay. And it's all, unfortunately, it's all very expensive. And that's the part. So you got to kind of just take your licks and your wounds and just hope that it doesn't. Again, I wish people would follow the golden rule of do unto others and as you have them do to you. However, people just don't do that. And I think a lot of people have gotten involved in this genre, talk, and just think they can just say whatever they want. They can do whatever they want with impunity. That's just simply not the case. Again, because there are certain protections, and I said this not to get into politics. But I said this back in 2016 when President Trump was elected, and my friends here in Hollywood were all out in the streets saying, "Not my president, election's rigged." And I said, guys, this is really dangerous. I know that you might feel this way. There may or may not be proof of this. I have no idea, but it's just not good, because what happens when it's your candidate? And then we all saw what happened. And now we're in a whole state of political chaos, right? So I look at it under the same lens of like, yes, you can dox and call all these people and say all this heinous stuff if you want, and you might be afforded protections under the law. But the same people can do that to you. So if you're afforded protections and you're exploiting and putting out people's personal information, saying this is where their kids go to school, this is what happens, this is getting involved in their personal lives, their personal relationships, and then putting that information out there. If you can get away with it, so can they. So this lawsuit. Oh, I got to read some of this stuff. There is proof. Hi, Karen. I'm saying a lot, but this really hits home for me. Please hit the like button. Yes, thank you so much. Cat Loves Cat Skills. Remind everybody, please hit the like button. No, Granny, she doesn't like Seth, but she doesn't. Oh, okay. So we're getting into some of the characters that are involved here. You guys are talking in the comments. Again, I don't know any of these people. I don't know any of them. I'm only giving you guys my particular opinion through my lens of growing up as a murderer's son, having lived in this true crime world, having worked in this true crime world. Look, I have a show that's coming out next month on Oxygen. I have a podcast. I talked about this stuff. I don't particularly care for it, and these are the reasons why. Like the reasons of people become so vitriolic and so obsessed with these cases, which is great in a lot of ways because it calls a lot of attention to them. Like, look, at the center of this is this little boy, Sebastian, who suffers from autism and who has been missing since February 26th of this year, I believe. So yeah, big deal. There's flyers going around. There's people who are actively looking for this child. That is a fantastic thing for people to do. To rally in the community, to help, to want to galvanize the community to find this child. Absolutely. The flip side of that is when people start going who have, they always say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. When some of these creators cross, again, I'm just making a blanket statement, not against any creator, because I don't know. Again, I don't know these people. The only person I know in this lawsuit is one of the plaintiffs, who is Dog the Bounty Hunter. And I just know him because he had a television show, and I know he's from Hawaii, and I know he's had his own slew of legal troubles in the past. That's the only person I know. The thing that makes it interesting is that if it seems like, from what I've read, and we're going to get into it in a second, is that a lot of these creators came forward with the best of intentions, and then got into the slippery slope of confusing facts with tabloid conjecture to start going after people. And from what I see, there's wrong on both sides of this. There's wrong on the defendant side. There's wrong on the plaintiff side. Like some of these plaintiffs, I'm like, haven't I heard your name before? Like this Bullhorn Betty. I've heard a lot of people, they're going to court for violating things like restraining orders. Apparently, this is what I read. This is what I hear. Again, I don't know these people, but I see this and I'm like, oh, okay. Is this what's happening here? So that said, it can be a really slippery slope. Let's pull up this particular thing though really fast. I like my thumbnail for today too. Oh, let me show you. Okay, so just so everyone can see, I'm gonna add a slide. You can support this program right here using Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. Choose your way to support. Scrolling through the bottom, you can do that. Your support means the world to me, helps keep the lights on, or you can become a channel subscriber. That helps. Or you can, again, use the Amazon store to do your holiday shopping, Black Friday shopping, all those fun things, or just, donate via the links below, buy me a coffee, all that stuff. So I appreciate it. Okay, we're going to pull up this redact. All right, hold on. Is it here? Okay. Now, all right. I got to find this. This is an 83-page document that was brought up. Is it in the documents or is it in the drive? Okay, nothing shared there. Team members. Is it in the drive or in Google Docs? Oh my God. Oh, I don't. This is really hard. Okay. I'm gonna have to fix all this. Let me see here. Normal text. All right, let's apply. Oh, sometimes formatting options just do not come through properly in this stuff. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. All right. So at the crux of this lawsuit, I don't even know. This whole thing is wild. At the crux of all of this is a couple of things. So RICO. So what is RICO? So breaking down RICO. So it's criminal organizations, racketeering. It stands for. Well, there is a Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act. Is a U.S. federal law passed in 1970 to combat organized crime. Its primary purpose is to provide law enforcement with a powerful legal tool to fight large criminal enterprises that engage in patterns of illegal activities over time. Again, I don't quite know how. Oh, there we go. I see it all. Amazing. All right, perfect. This is what we want. I think. Okay. I think all these names are redacted. We don't want to show anything that's going to show these thing. Redacted preliminary injunction. Okay, so here's the complaint. We're going to pull this up. Hello, everyone in the comments. Hello, Halloween baby. It is your time, Halloween baby. It's like Rosemary's Baby. And then we might open up the phone lines if I can sort this out. This desk is such a mess. Have I ever shown you guys the disaster that is in my desk? Marisol, oh, you've got the whole. Oh, wow. She's got the whole bone completely pulled apart. Let me see if I can add this camera here to this laptop. Just to show you guys what little Marisol is up to. No. Oh, there it is. There she is. Because I know everybody wants to know what little Marisol is doing. Little Marisol, come here. Move you over. I know. I'm not taking your treat. Don't worry. I'm going to take this one, though. We'll save this for later. I'll put this over here, so you don't chew it all at once. There she is. She's so sweet. Marisol will be, Marisol will be 2 years old in a couple of weeks. Yes, she is a sweet, precious baby. Welcome, Laura Lee Smith. Welcome, Paula D. Hey, Mona. Yes, she is such a cutie. La Reinita. Yes, she is La Reinita, indeed. Oh, thank you so much, Shelly Klein. I'm glad to know them. Easy on the eyes. Thank you. For the longest time, I had no idea what that meant. Your fur baby is chomping on her treat too, KK. That's very sweet. I don't know if she's going to have a birthday party or not. Hiya, pretty eye. Muy bonita. Yes, Leo the Lioness. Which, by the way, apparently Lioness is a show starring like Zoe Saldana and I think Morgan Freeman is in it, and Nicole Kidman and Michael E. Kelly and some other people. I was like, wait, what? I saw an advertisement for last night. I was like, what is this? I'll check it out. Oh, thank you so much. I am just as beautiful on the inside as people who will tell you in the chat that have met me in person. I am the same person here that you see in front of this camera as I am in real life. Why is that? Because I just don't have time to be a different person. I'm just the same guy. You can ask any woman I've ever dated. I am just as crazy. Crazy here. I'm a non-stop ball of energy. Somebody was saying this to me yesterday. She said, I really like your morning energy. The thing is that it doesn't seem to stop. You're such a morning person, and then you're a noon person and an afternoon person and an evening person and a night person. I was like, yeah, I'm sort of like a big ball of energy. I don't know where it comes from. Caffeine, I'm sure, maybe, but not really, because even when I don't drink caffeine, I'm fine. So I don't know. I think my mother, God rest her soul, was exhausted by me because I would sleep for 12 hours a day, and that was the only way she could keep up with me. I don't sleep 12 hours a night anymore. I wish I could. That would be amazing. I would love to have a 12-hour sleep. I wear an Oura ring. If you guys are familiar with these, this is totally off topic. We're going to get back to the document in a second. Oura ring, it tracks my sleep. It is thoroughly disappointed with me on a regular basis. In fact, I think my sleep score last night was 62 or something like that. And for those of you that have an Oura ring, that is not a good score. However, my steps so far today, steps progress was 14,481. So that's good. 14,481. Daytime stress. Yeah, it says I'm stressed. It's normal to experience high physiological stress on active days. If you feel tired, try to take a few moments to recharge your body. Maybe. Heart rate got up to 100 well, yeah, I was running, and running up hills. Sleep score of 62. That's my sleep score. I should share this with you guys more often. This is my life. I use my Oura ring. REM sleep efficiency was 90%. Restfulness was good. REM sleep, not so good. Deep sleep, not really great. Latency, not great. Timing, not great. Total sleep, 5 hours and 39 minutes. Not great either. Need to really step that up. Maybe take a copious amounts of melatonin. Back to what we're talking about. We're talking about this lawsuit. Did somebody say Aunt Jemima? Is that somebody's name? Did I see that? Aunt Jemima? What's up, Aunt Jemima? Which is now not called Aunt Jemima, right? It's called some other name that is, obviously doesn't sound like Aunt Jemima. Which Aura do I prefer? So the Oura Ring 4 just came out. It has no sensors in it. It has sensors, but this one has little bumps. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's little bumps in the inside. Those, I believe, are the sensors. The new ones supposedly don't have the sensors. Yeah, see, there you go. 3 bumps. Yeah, there you go. You can see those pretty good. The new ones don't have bumps. So I have the Oura Ring 3. I had the original. I didn't have the original Oura Ring. I had the Oura Ring 2. Then I have the Oura Ring 3, which I've had for 3 years. I need to get a new one when I can afford it. The battery lasts about a day and a half on this. The new one, the day lasts for 8 hours. They've really dialed in the battery life. I mean, the batteries go bad. I really prefer it. I wish they would sponsor the show. They don't sponsor anybody. Even the athletes apparently that use it. They don't give anybody anything. And they don't give you a discount. I do get the app for free because I was one of the first early adopters of their app. So I have it for free for life. So that's nice. But other than that, man, yeah, I can't recommend them enough. If you are into like tracking, it will tell you if you're getting sick, if your immune system starts going down, or it can tell you your heart rate variability. I can't extol its virtues enough. Back to the redacted document that I've been promising you guys for, I don't know, 40 minutes now. But you know what? This is fun. This is fun, right, guys? We're here. We're chatting. It's great. It's a lot of fun. Which window is this going to be? Is that the one we want to pull? All right. Nope. I need to pull this over. So this is the Supreme Court of Common Pleas, Civil Court. I don't want to show the notes anymore. Can we hide notes? Hide comments. Hey, there we go. Oh God, I love it when technology works for us. Can we open it with Adobe Acrobat? Okay, sure. No, I don't want to do that. What are we doing? Let's just go back to what we're. Nope. We like this. Let's just go back to that. I don't want to open it in Adobe Acrobat. What was I thinking? Okay, so this is the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, my home state, or not my home state, my birth state. Are you having some water? She's having some water, guys. Note to everyone, Marisol is having water. I'm going to take this one too. You have that one. You have this Chewy. Here, have this Chewy. There you go. She's very protective. So we had a guest visitor this week, a dog, a big Jack Russell, and Marisol bossed him every chance she could get. It was really funny. Here she is. She got a candy corn too. My friend got her a candy corn yesterday. So now she has a little Halloween treat. She likes to sleep with it. That's her candy corn. Little Mighty Soul with her candy corn. And this is her with the dog. She got in his cage. She commandeered his cage. So there she is in his little cage with him. He's like, help, get her out of here. He's really funny. His name is Jagger. He came to visit. I did a video. You guys saw him. I took him to the beach walking. He had the best time ever. But they also fought over treats that were his treats that she decided were her treats. Let me see where that is. Because that's the funniest thing ever. Is she will not let go of his little treat. Where is it? Oh, it's really funny. Yeah, there we go. So this is her. She won't let go of his treat. She's terrible. We had fun. We had fun with our friend. Scroll past that doc. Okay, so this is not the okay. Is this it? Okay, in the Court of Common Pleas of Delaware County, Pennsylvania, AtNight Media, LLC, Dwayne Dog Chapman, Seth Rogers, Tony Mathis, Andra Griffin, Brittany Nicole Jackson, Christina O'Donnell, Julia Valenti, Hong Ji, and Nik the Hat. Well, that's a Greek name if I've ever seen one. Hatsefesta. I can't even. Not even gonna try. Not even gonna try to butcher that. Nik the Hat. We'll just call him that. So it's Barbecue Lady, and then it gives their real name. And Granny is watching, which we don't have. We're not showing people's real names because we're trying to redact as much information from the document, because we're not here to dox people or share people's personal information. There's our lawyers. So there are a ton of people who are implicated in this. There's 52 creators in all, but the top two are this Barbecue Lady and Granny's Watching, who's on YouTube. Again, I don't know any of these people. I know none of them. And I really don't have any opinions on any of them either. other than the fact that I've heard things that are thrown around in the tabloid conjecture of social media, of them pursuing people, them having to go to court, them being arrested for violating orders of protection, things of that nature, like that, and that's public record. But other than this, I don't really. It seems like there is a lot of people on both sides, and again, I think initially there was a lot of, as I said, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. A lot of people got into talking about this case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, a 15-year-old missing child who was last seen on February 25th in Hendersonville, Tennessee. So, again, he was supposedly an autistic child, which I don't have a lot of experience with autism. I'm somebody who is neurodivergent. If you haven't figured it out by watching the show, I get very easily distracted. It's just a thing. I don't know. I can't help it. But people who are on the spectrum, a lot of times, I had a friend who was who has a boyfriend, and he has a daughter, and I went over, I brought some guitars because she said, hey, can you come over and play guitar with them? They really like it. I didn't know that his daughter was autistic or on the spectrum. And I came to find out that she was 18 years old, but I thought she was 11, 12 years old. So I really learned a lot over the summer about this young lady and this child. And, I can't imagine being her father, because I can only imagine of how people could take advantage of someone like her, and her good nature. And it's just very, very childlike. And, my heart breaks thinking about how people take advantage of children in general. And as someone who experienced the brunt of his trauma as a child, and was thrown into this world and forced to be an adult, I'm really, really hypersensitive to kids and kids being exploited. I was a child who was exploited in a lot of ways by the legal system. Now, do I really care about that now? No, not really. I just wouldn't want to see anyone else do it. I mean, look, I got justice for my mother, so that's really what I was concerned about, and less about the exploitation. But I do find that some of these young people who suffer from any of these conditions can be taken advantage of by people who have nefarious intentions, to say the least. Marisol, what are we doing? Can we go back to having did you take your treat away? You want more? Okay, let's have another one. I mean, like anything to keep her occupied, right? So she doesn't go through and get into trouble. I have a lot of things up here for her to chew in this office. So I watch Granny. What this says doesn't even pertain to her. It's insane. I have a nephew who has autism, and he is precious to me. Jen, I sent you a DM on Discord. Do people use Discord? I started a Discord for this particular channel, and it seems like nobody was using the Discord. Oh, what happened? Oh, I think my camera died. Hang on, guys. It did die. That's hilarious. Oh. Oh, yeah. Stand by. Camera's coming back. Camera's coming back. We'll bring the Marisol camera back really fast. All right. Fabulous. All right, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. The camera died. Camera battery died. I was filming last night for our Resilience Reimagined course, and I forgot to replace the battery. So there you have it. Okay, back to this particular document. So, plaintiffs are engaged in the urgent and sensitive task of locating Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, 15-year-old missing child last seen on February 25th in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Despite extensive efforts, Sebastian remains missing, necessitating a coordinated and uninterrupted search. The search has proven far more difficult than a typical missing teenager, and has a few ill-intentioned individuals have sought to cast Mr. Rogers as a villain. Who would ever cast Mr. Rogers as a villain? Meanwhile, others have, quote, conducted a Salem Witch Trial-like panels aimed at intimidating potential witnesses or discouraging those who may have useful information from coming forward. Some of these individuals uncomfortably close to Mr. Rogers include his ex-wife, Kate Proudfoot, and her husband, Christopher Proudfoot. That's an interesting last name. Others are so-called, quote, content creators whose sole aim seems to be inviting, inciting, instructing, and destroying the lives of anyone who dares to search for answers or help locate the missing teenager. Okay, a couple of things. There are a lot of creators who have apparently been involved in this case, who are also plaintiffs in this case, who have received a ton of money from donations and contributions to their YouTube channel and YouTube ad revenue, and revenue to their TikToks or wherever, have received a lot of gifts and things of that nature. Which I don't know how these people get all these gifts and stuff. I can't get anyone to donate anything over here. I'm always stunned when I remember somebody who was covering the Karen Reed trial was like, yeah, I made $17,000 off of Venmo. I said, what? Are you kidding me? For what? This is wild. So I think that a lot of people give a lot of money. So, I mean, good on them. I'm not here to chastise anyone for that. Like, good on you. But people have earned significant amounts of money from talking about and covering this particular situation ad nauseum. To me, I'm just, it's a lot. I like to see community efforts and people galvanized to go look for this young man. But, and that's, I think, where people lose sight of this whole thing. So content creators on both sides making money. So it's like the pot calling the kettle black in a lot of ways. I think, I don't know. As set forth below, defendants have engaged in reckless and unlawful actions, including the dissemination of false information, harassment, threats, and interference, which have severely disrupted the search operations. Defendants' actions have caused significant harm, diverted critical resources, and impeded plaintiffs' lawful efforts to locate Sebastian. The timeline. Sebastian was last seen with his biological mother, Kate Proudfoot, at Texas Roadhouse in Hendersonville, Tennessee on February 25th, 2024. A true and correct copy of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's official updates page is attached hereto as Exhibit 1, which outlines the latest information about this case to date and is incorporated by reference herein. After leaving the restaurant, Sebastian disappeared, effectively vanishing without a trace. He was reported missing the next morning, prompting a multi-state search involving local, state, and federal law enforcement, as it should have prompted that. On March 21st, 2024, Mr. Rogers, so Seth Rogers, I believe, who's one of the plaintiffs in this case, organized a search of the Natchez Trace State Park, located 100 miles from Sumner County, after receiving a tip suggesting the family search that area. Unfortunately, nothing was found. Hey, no. Nothing was found. A true and correct copy of the news article is attached hereto as Exhibit 2 and incorporated by reference herein. On March the 23rd, Mr. Rogers felt a glimmer of hope when the United Cajun Navy deployed a team to assist in the search of the missing teenager. A true and correct copy of the news article is attached hereto as Exhibit 3. However, as the days went on and the situation grew more challenging, Mr. Rogers made a public plea for help, reporting that threats, intimidation, and other questionable tactics were being used to disrupt the search efforts, which is not cool. If that is the case, that is not cool. I can only imagine how this is probably played out. You have a husband and an ex-wife. I'm sure. Hey, that's not for you. I'm sure this has complicated things a lot. There are a lot of emotional elements and factors involved in this case, I'm sure. I'm totally sure. Let me grab our little one here. Come here, little one. Daddy gave you treats. Okay. Daddy gave you treats. Do you know what those treats are called? what Daddy calls those treats. Those treats are called bribes. Those bribes are supposed to allow Daddy to be able to talk to the viewers and do his show. And it means that Chihuahuas get to just have the treats. And they're just, as my mother would say, your grandmother, children are to be seen and not heard. Right? Right? Oh, she's funny. She's funny. Mi vida, yes, she's just adorable. Okay, yes, she's very sweet and beautiful. Jessica, that's not grifting. If her supporters support her, their choice. I don't know what we're talking about here. Money clamping drums. Nicole, crazy. Please forgive my typo. Amen, Kate. Oh, you guys are obviously engaging in a chat that I am not really privy to. Anyways, okay, so this is the 22nd. However, as the days went on, the situation grew more challenging. Mr. Rogers made a public plea for help, reporting the threats, intimidation, and other questionable tactics were being used to disrupt the search efforts. A true and correct copy of the news article. Okay. The nightmare worsened on March 29th when the United Cajun Navy withdrew from the search, citing death threats and interferences from, quote, a handful of mentally ill people with too much free time, emboldened by online keyboard warriors, or as I like to refer to them, keyboard cowboys. A true and correct copy of this in the article, news article attached here too. So there's one of my main issues here. People online jumping into the fray and disrupting efforts. Oh, you got your little toy off the thing, but you also got Daddy's hat, which we will put on. No, we're good. We're good on that. It's also like 80 degrees out. We don't need that. Hey, we're into hour 2. Hope you all are here we're locking in for a while. Drop a super chat if you feel so inclined. Breezy, thank you so much for the super chat. The raccoon likes to gift. Thank you so much. Trash pandas. We love trash pandas. He is actually the same as you see on this channel. Yes, I am. Thank you so much, Cat Loves Cat Skills. TJ, the girl with the big dog. Wise words from this kind nature man. Thank you so much. And of course, Jen Semio, who has renewed her membership for the 16th month in a row. Fabulous. We also had new members, by the way. Sorry to get distracted, guys. Again, that falls under the disclaimer of the neurodivergence. Sharita Hall rejoined. Artist Neeland. Jody DDA joined as well. The Scoop redid her. Okay. She's funny. She's got her whole little situation going on. Roadrunner joined. Rejoined 8 days ago. Jody DDA, Artist Neeland, and Sharita Hall, The Scoop, Andrew B, Zimmy, Andrea Clark, Michelle Slater. A lot of you came from Black Widower was so gracious to gift some memberships the last time we did a live. So a lot of people joined that way, and greatly appreciate you guys joining. Back to what we were talking about. I guess we should start a poll too. That might not be a bad idea. Let's start a poll and see if we and see how you guys feel about, do you think that content creators should be allowed to say and do whatever they want? I think is a really good question. Let's Jessica, thank you so much for the super sticker. Black Widower, thank you so much for the sticker. Fabuloso. Look at this. Amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Marisol. There is also a great saying that says, idle hands are the devil's workshop. Road to hell is paved with good intentions, and idle hands are idle paws in this particular scenario are the devil's workshop. Yeah, you have a treat. Eat your treat. She's so funny. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Black Widow. I greatly appreciate it. Back to what we're talking about. I promise we're not normally this distracted. Marisol, we want to show everyone the guilty face. Yep. There you are, my little friend. She is very cute though, right? She's like, how can I do? She's like, how can you deny me treats or attention, Daddy? I don't understand this. Oh, she's a funny one. Oh, she's a funny one. We love her very much. Yes, we do. Also, the camera is not mirrored properly here on the show, but there you go. All right, back to what we're saying. Thank you all for being here and supporting my channel. Nightbot in the house. Thank you for the update. Okay, back to what we're talking about. All right. Boom. Yep. She's trouble. What cerebral palsy looks like. Thank you. I have no idea who Betty is, Nicole. Yes. So there's Bullhorn Betty, who apparently is one of the plaintiffs in this lawsuit, who apparently has had interactions and has, I don't know, been able to carve out a YouTube niche talking about this Sebastian Rogers case, and apparently has run into some legal troubles with people involved in the case. This is like a big, massive internet squabble, by the way. Like that's what I see a lot of this as being. But again, the worst thing is that the Cajun Navy, which I'm not familiar with who the United Cajun Navy is, but withdrew from the search, citing death threats, interference from a, quote, handful of mentally ill people with too much free time, emboldened by all online keyboard warriors. And my biggest problem with all of this and navigating parasocial relationships is the fact that people can get behind a keyboard and say whatever they want without any sort of accountability or accountability or responsibility or anything, and they just say whatever they want. And that's really, really bad. And we see this a lot in politics, but we also see a lot here in the true crime. So I don't know who these people were that were threatening. That I have no idea. I'm reading this from the lawsuit that was filed by these plaintiffs. On April the 6th, okay, so on April 2nd, 2024, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation spokesperson Susan Nyland cautioned the public during a press conference that misinformation could damage the investigation into Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. Again, misinformation, people coming through saying whatever the hell they want and jumping on the sides of all the different teams. Again, we saw this with the Karen Reed case. People jumping on both sides with their own version of the truth, and it really convolutes investigations. In my opinion, some people say it doesn't. I don't see how it couldn't. You saw this happen in the Idaho 4 case when they were trying to even arrest Brian Koberger, a online psychic on TikTok came on and suggested that it was another professor at the University of Idaho that decided to go and that decided that this person was the killer of these 4 young college students, doxed them, the whole thing, and obviously got sued because of this, because it was completely false. This is like female professor, this poor professor that got victimized and of course received death threats and things of that nature. Again, anyone who weaponizes this type of stuff, if we could all just follow, not to be altruistic, guys, if we could all just follow the golden rule of do unto others as you'd have them do to you, I think we've been in much better shape than having to go into all of this. I want to, I remember JLR going really hard at Cajun Navy. I don't know who JLR is. True Crime Lullabies. I might have to go lock little Marisol downstairs. I know you guys probably don't want to hear that. Yes to the golden rule. Absolutely what cerebral palsy looks like. Sumner County said no report was ever made. I'm going to throw this up on the screen. I'm going to lock her out really fast. I will be right back, guys. Oh, I should put on a little, let's put on a little entertaining Let's put on a little low-key music, which, by the way, again, for some of these people, as I was mentioning at the top of the program, there was this as I was discussing with true crime creators who got hit with Associated Press copyright notices and content IDs on their on their channels. They said go ahead and they started playing music underneath when you're playing these court TV segments from the Associated Press. I'm going to pull this up. I'll be right back, and I want to share something with you guys too. Come on, Puffins. Say goodbye. For now, I'll get you later. Say goodbye to your fans. Okay. Good girl. We're going to put this up for just a second. All right. So a couple of things I want to share while we're entering our second hour. So I was at the grocery store today. And for those of you, since we are talking about the great state of Pennsylvania, the Keystone State or the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, today I was at the grocery store and I saw these. These are Tasty Cake butterscotch crumpets. Now, this is a Halloween box and whatever. Sponge cakes with butterscotch icing. So why am I talking about Tasty Cakes? Because I don't eat this crap. However, these were my mother's absolute favorite treats in the world. Now, they've probably changed quite a bit since she ate them as a child, but these were my mother's favorite treats. I had to get them. There's my mother. There's me. They were my mother's favorite treats, and I would have these occasionally when we would go to Philadelphia. Enjoy by October 23rd, 2024. Oh, these are old. What? That's wild. Wow. They're going to go bad in 3 days. That's funny. I just bought them, I don't know, like a couple hours ago. That's really funny. This is July 24th, though, on the box. Huh. Oh, that was a manufacturing date. That's weird. Yeah. Enjoy by October 23rd, 2024. Pfft, that's ridiculous. Anyways, they're not healthy for you. They're absolutely terrible. They're loaded with sugar. Woo! 26 grams of added sugars, 51% of your daily value. But these are the butterscotch crumpets, and they remind me of my mother when I see them. So I had to buy them. And yeah, kind of like that. From Philadelphia, yes. I remember, big part of my childhood. On occasion. Didn't eat them often, but on occasion. So back to our little document here. Okay, so the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation spokesperson Susan Nyland again cautioned the public during a press conference that misinformation could damage the investigation into Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. A true and correct copy of the news article. There's all these copies. Here we go. 50 days after Sebastian Rogers' disappearance, Mr. Rogers initiated a petition. This is on April 16th, 2024. On change.org, calling for a criminal investigation by the FBI. A true and correct copy of that. And the petition reads, "We want the FBI to take over the investigation of the case of missing Sebastian Wayne Rogers from Sumner County Sheriff's Office. It has been 50 days since Sebastian has gone missing. No scent trail from dogs, no video footage of Sebastian leaving his mother's house, yet no criminal investigation at all by the TBI or the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. On April the 17th, Mr. Rogers hired 2 licensed investigators, Chloe Schaefer and Heather Cohen, to assist with the search. Unbeknownst to him at the time, at least one of them had connections to the Enterprise. What is the Enterprise? That I don't know. Somebody can list that in the comments below if you like. What is the Enterprise? The Enterprise. I don't know what the Enterprise is. Do not know. The Enterprise. Okay. Sworn declaration of Seth Rogers, father of Sebastian Rogers. Okay, around that time, Mr. Rogers began a relationship with Michaela Cleveland. Okay, hold on. Retained a private investigator to assist with the search for his missing. Okay, sorry, hold on. So unbeknownst to him at the time, the investigators he had hired, Chloe Schaefer and Heather Cole, had a connection to the quote, the Enterprise. I don't have any idea what the Enterprise is. Section 27, on or about April 23rd, Mr. Rogers retained a private investigator to assist in the search for his missing son. And around that time, he also began a relationship with Michaela Cleveland, aka Michaela Allerdice, who, based on information and belief, was sent to Mr. Rogers with the ulterior motive of using sex as a manipulation tool, similar to tactics employed by intelligence agents, but without any legal authority. During the course of the relationship, she covertly emailed herself confidential files related to Sebastian Rogers. Wow. Let's take that piece into account. Again, I don't know these people at all. So I'm just looking at this just as a regular dude living in Santa Monica, California. Thank you so much for joining the program. If you are here, if you're new, I am not a lawyer. I do not work in law enforcement. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just a guy who's been through a lot of shit. You can watch the intro to the show. You'll learn a little bit more about me. This is my unique perspective on true crime. This is some shit. He dated someone, as he alleges in this document, had dated someone who weaponized sex so they could go through his computer and email themselves files. So they decided to, I don't, look, it's an illegal document. I don't know if it's true or not. There's any validity to this, but that is some shit. Like, what do you guys think about that? I want to know right in the comments below. Somebody started dating him with the intent of getting into, well, not only getting into his pants, but getting into his computer to hack files. And what did they do with these files is what I want to know. What was their motive? I mean, obviously their motive, what was their motive? Fame, money, or they were just like wannabe sleuths? You know, I did a documentary last year for Vice and we talked about, people's obsession with true crime. And that is like, that's some next level stuff, man. I am not, I have definitely been through my share of wacky relationships. That one would take the cake. Absolutely. High level BS. So what is that? Allegedly it was Child Protective Services docs. Is that what you were saying? Who is shooting for a TV show? If it's true, it's gross, but it has nothing to do with Granny. Oh yeah. I'm not saying it has anything to do with any of these people. And it's not just Granny or whatever her name is. There's 52 people named in this suit, apparently. By the way, Athletic Brewing Company, non-alcoholic beer, really good. The IPA, really, really good. Cannot recommend it enough. Can somebody give me an update on this 49ers score, by the way, the 49ers in Kansas City score? All right. Sorry, I realized I was chewing and I didn't want you guys to see me chew. I haven't eaten anything all day, or not since very early this morning. Apologies. Okay. Now we're into hour two of the show. Okay, so going into someone's computer, that's gross. Now I don't know what this has to do with any of these other people. Are they alleging that this behavior occurred and these people were trying to tap into their sources, like or we're setting him up? I mean, who knows? Who knows, man? This is wild, though. On May the 1st, 2024, my father's birthday, by the way, Mr. Rogers retained Tony L. Mathis on a pro bono basis to assist with media requests, allowing him the space to mourn and continue searching for his son with peace of mind. On May the 20th, the search approached its 3-month mark, and his father called for renewed efforts and urged the FBI to take over the investigation, seeking a fresh perspective on his son's case, a true and correct copy. On May 27th, Mr. Rogers planned 3 additional searches to further the effort to locate his son. In an emotional interview on June 19th, 2024 with News Nation's Ashley Banfield, Mr. Rogers stated there's, quote, been no contact between me and the Proudfoots. It's like I'm the only one that misses my son. That's a bummer if that's true. On July 11th, WKRN Nashville reported on a search being conducted by Mr. Rogers, during which he stated that he is not sharing a lot about the search due to worry over continued harassment. On or around August 7th, Kate and Christopher Proudfoot pursued legal action by filing a protective order against plaintiff Griffin. Who is that? Okay. Let me go back to plaintiff Griffin. Andrew Griffin. Oh, didn't think you guys could see that part. Andrew Griffin, who I don't know. Let me stop sharing this window. And let me share again. Isn't technology amazing? It really is. Which window? There we go. Great. Okay. On or about August 7th, Kate and Christopher Proudfoot pursued legal action, filing an order against plaintiff Griffin. On August 21st, AtNight was engaged by a private client of the plaintiff with an address in Brentwood, Tennessee, to assist in the search for Sebastian Rogers. On August 26, 2024, the FBI announced a $50,000 reward for information on Sebastian Rogers. There is a missing persons poster for Sebastian Rogers, which showcases a $50,000 reward. Now, that is... Okay, that is right here, I believe. This is the original Amber Alert for this young man. Oh, look at this little guy. Missing persons report. Oh. Man. That sucks. What a cute little guy. Poor kid. Man. I think at the end of the day, you know, the looking at all this legal kerfuffle and all this going on, at the end of the day, like, the kid is still missing. Like, all these people are going back and forth arguing about everything, but at the end of the day, there's still a child missing. Like, why can't people just get along? Why can't people all if everyone really has a, you know, this is my big thing here. If everyone has all these really genuine interests to find these kids, to find this child, to find this little guy, this teenager, why are they going after one another? Why is it you did this, you pointing fingers each way? Like, he's still missing. And this is just, and he's lost. Yes, Kim Holmes, Sebastian is still missing, and he's lost in his own missing persons case. That's the thing, because all these people are going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's like, what is going on? Hi, Hillary Merrick. I love the new hairstyle. Thank you so much, Hillary Merrick, watching on LinkedIn. Thank you. That's the thing. That's the thing. I think that's probably the worst about all this. And yes, Gen X is seventh power. It should be the same goal, the same team. Find the kid. That's it. 28-18 is the score. 28-18, 28 for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm assuming, because they're at the 49ers, so I would assume it's 28-18. Let me know, Gilly. Yeah, it's all about money. An adult's not adulting, exactly. And it's just 18. So the 49ers are ahead is what you're telling me. Oh no, Chiefs are 28. Okay, got it. Okay, the Chiefs are 28. Yeah, of course. There we go. That makes more sense. Yeah, I'm pretty much giving up on the 49ers season myself. Yeah, exactly. This poor kid is completely lost in the shuffle of all of this. That's the thing and that's the same thing that I said about the Karen Reed trial. John O'Keefe, for some reason, got completely. Nobody seemed to care about what actually happened to John O'Keefe. In the end, it was all Karen Reed being, quote, set up by people, and all these bad actors, and then everyone going after the bad actors, or the supposed bad actors, and then people going after Karen Reed. Nobody was like, yo, can we actually find out what happened to John O'Keefe? Can we actually find out? Do we actually care about the victims? Like, all this other stuff is just it's just noise. It doesn't matter. Like, and people collecting money, and apparently there are other people who have collected money to raise money for legal defenses for themselves. How about raising some effing money for the kid? Like, how about galvanizing people to do that? How about that's how we approach this? I mean, look, I'm not here to chat to go after people, but like, at some point, common sense has to prevail here, where people have to just say, look, what are we doing, guys? Do we actually really care about what happened to Sebastian, or do we just care about what's going on with our own personal nonsense? Yep, 28-18. Unbelievable. Wow. Yeah. 49ers season. This is a must win for the 49ers today. Not happening. So, Karen Fan says Barbecue Lady has went in search, and so has Clue. This is Cluminati. Is that the guy's name? The father raised over $50,000 for his own use. If he's alive, what would he be coming home to after all this mess? That's a great point. Which sucks, by the way. True crime lullabies, but it's a actually very poignant statement. What would the child be coming home to? Because I mean, it's. Let's say Sebastian comes home, or they find him, but let's just say 5-10 years down the road, when he's in his 20s, right? All right, he's like a young adult, and he's going through his life, and he looks back at the behavior of everyone involved and goes, what the F just happened? That's what I think. That when I look at this as having been someone who went through an ordeal as a child, and childhood trauma, and dealing with violent crime, that's what I see. What is this kid going to look back at as an adult and say, what's happening here? Wait, what? You guys got in arguments over money, but nobody went out and looked for me, or nobody went out to try to galvanize the community. I think that's probably the thing that's the most just one of the worst things. When people bring frivolous lawsuits, one needs to defend themselves. Yeah, but it's absolutely just where are all these billboards that people are funding? Yeah, where did the billboards go? Were they raising money? Well, the dad went after people who were raising money for billboards for the missing boys. So that's BBQ, Clue, and others likely does. The plaintiffs don't seem to really care about the young man. They spend a lot of time on YouTube and TikTok while they could be searching. Interesting. The entire case is a crap show. Same here, but it's clear the bad actors are really not good at their craft. Not good at the acting. Lady named Cluminati. Oh, a lady named Cluminati. Got it. I have also searched. Well, that's great, Halloween baby, that you went out there and searched. I heard the father raised over $200,000. Yeah, that's absurd. Therapy in a broken home. I mean, it's just really, really weird. 28-18, Chiefs won. There you go. Coming home from someone that has searched 17 days straight. This is not advocacy or searching. Coming from someone that has searched 17 days straight. This is not advocacy or searching. That's interesting. Yeah, it is disturbing. I agree. I agree, Jessica. You should see the behavior from his own father. Oh my God, Collier. If you saw what the dad has said about his own son, you would be shocked. That's terrible, Tammy's Clips. Again, let's go Mets. No, let's go Dodgers. Forget the Mets. By the way, the freaking you got one New York team in. That would be kind of cool to watch the Mets and the Yankees play though. What was that? The Subway Series? Was that way back in the 70s or something? Dodger. Let's go Dodgers. Let's go Doyers. Those Doyers. I was bummed the Cleveland Guardians lost last night to the Yankees. 4-1 in the series. It's terrible. I understand what you're saying. Karen Reed opened an account for the niece and nephew of Officer John O'Keefe. John's brother was put in charge of that account. Yeah, and look, let me be really clear. I'm not accusing anyone of I'm not accusing Karen Reed of anything. I'm not accusing John O'Keefe's brother. I'm saying the outside forces that all got involved. That to me is just, it's a lot of noise and distraction, right? So it's I think that's probably again, that's the worst thing, that's the ancillary victims that are a part of these crimes, which is, again, his personal trauma was exposed by his father. If his personal trauma was exposed by his father, he'd probably be mortified. Clue is local to the case in Tennessee. In my opinion, Sebastian is being exploited. Yes, I think he's being exploited by everyone. Content creators, everyone. I mean, to a certain degree, even myself, even talking about this is exploiting it, I suppose. I'm just more interested in what the impacts are of all this and giving my opinion. But, yeah, it's absolutely tragic what has happened to this young boy. Because he's just it seems like he's just lost in all of this. I saw billboards on both sides of the Memphis highway, both way in Nashville and Mississippi. They could rent digital billboards all over the country. I mean, Kim Holmes says, why not hire professional searchers for the media instead of social media? Interesting. Professional searchers for the missing instead of social media. There's been many searching many of these defendants. No reward with that money he raised. The plaintiffs are lying. It's that simple. Oh, that's interesting, Frenchie Tribe. I'd be curious to see why I said that. BHB has not searched for him at all. Was that Bullhorn Betty? Is that who you're referring to? She is one of the plaintiffs in this lawsuit. Granny's watching. How does this filing help Sebastian? That's the claims here. Yeah, I mean, exactly? How does that put any? How does that actually have anything to do with this. Yeah, again, it just seems to be, yeah. And how does Dog the Bounty Hunter, Dwayne Dog the Bounty Hunter Chapman, become involved in this? That's what we're going through here. Okay, so in number 40, let's bring this back. Come on. In number 40, at the same day, that same day. Okay, here we go. Let's go back here. A true and correct copy of the original post from Nik the Hat on X, formerly Twitter, announcing the agency's intent to cover the case of Sebastian Wayne Drug. So that was when the FBI announced a $50,000 reward for information on him, which showcases a $50,000 reward and indicates he's classified as a runaway, suggesting he is alive and not deceased. Which I hope he's alive, but I hope he's okay. A true and correct copy of the original post from Nik the Hat on X, formerly Twitter, dated September 2nd, announced the agency's intent to cover the case of Sebastian Rogers. On September 3rd at approximately 11:17, Mr. Nik the Hat, we'll just call him, emailed Special Agent Bobby Simmons of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation to begin coordination efforts involving Dog the Bounty Hunter, AtNight, and Mr. Rogers' interests in assisting with the search for Sebastian Rogers. That same day, AtNight entered into a letter of engagement with Mr. Rogers, the father of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, a true and correct copy. Okay. AtNight intended to represent the entire family by reaching out to Kate and Christopher Proudfoot, as well as Mr. Rogers. However, Mr. and Mrs. Proudfoot declined the services offered by AtNight, which I don't know what AtNight is. I know they're a plaintiff in this case, but on September the 4th, plaintiffs bolstered the FBI award with an additional $50,000, raising the total to $100,000. A true and correct copy of the press release and from AtNight and One World Corp is attached. At 3:31 p.m. that same day, plaintiff Dwayne the Dog Bounty Hunter announced the increased reward on his social media platforms, capturing nationwide attention, which was good for him. Great. A true and correct copy of the article from TMZ announcing Dog's involvement is attached here too. Okay, so but he was brought in by Sebastian's father, apparently. Okay. AtNight emailed the United States Department of Justice, IOD, SOIB, Missing Child Unit to inquire about Form USM 641, which activates the assistance of the United States Marshal Service. A true and correct copy. Is Marshals only spelled with one L? Maybe it is. Within the hour, Kate Akame, Resource Director for the United States Marshal Service in Washington, D.C., provided the form to AtNight. Plaintiff Griffin appeared in court for allegedly violating a protective order issued by Proudfoot, citing hashtag Chris Proudfoot and accusing her of being a nuisance to their privacy. On September 16th, defendant Stephanie Joe and defendant Trudy, announced a cease and desist letter addressing her defamatory comment, which included defamatory conduct. So defendant Stephanie Joe and defendant Trudy received, those are names that were not redacted from here. Okay. Received a cease and desist letter addressing her defamatory conduct, which included numerous violations of federal law and related criminal behavior. On September 17th, Judy Coleman, Esquire, aka Judy the Lawyer, on TikTok responded to the cease and desist on behalf of Barbecue Lady, stating at no time has her conduct extended to active interference in any legal or investigatory process. The demand that she ceases protected speech under the guise of obstruction allegations, unfounded and without legal merit. Unquote. Attorney Coleman further asserts that Miss Defendant Barbecue Lady is conducting her own search efforts. Why the name Barbecue Lady, by the way? Does she sell barbecues? Is she a barbecue person? Are you engaged in barbecuing activities? Do you have a smoker? I'm curious. I want to know why Barbecue Lady. is going by Barbecue Lady. Total, just absolute, just curiosity, because I'm someone who really loves good barbecue. So I'm very curious. By the way, I think the best barbecue I've ever had was in Orlando, Florida at Bubbaloo's Bodacious Barbecue. I don't know if it's still around. That was 20 some years ago. I lived there. If it is, go check it out. They have really good cornbread too. In the Orlando area, Winter Park area, or Altamont Springs. Altamont Springs, Bubbaloo's. Oh, excuse me. Bubbaloo's Bodacious Barbecue. Fantastic. Sorry, guys, I'm starving. That same day, the undersigned served a cease and desist demand to aka Cluminati, as she continued to propagate hateful rhetoric. A true and correct copy of this Cluminati, same day, which, by the way, the name Cluminati is pretty good, pretty catchy, well played. But Barbecue Lady, also catchy. But I want to know, is there barbecuing activity that is involved? Thank you so much for the super sticker from Rue. You are the cutest and funny when you have tech issues, as we all do. I start throwing earbuds and remotes. Man, I almost threw, what did I do? I don't like to throw things. I'm not a thrower. Because a lot of stuff I have is expensive, so I don't like throwing things and breaking expensive things. I was really frustrated the other day because I was really frustrated because I was trying to get ready for something, and the lampshade was bothering me. And this lamp on my nightstand, I was like, I just rattled it. I was like, ah! It was like an IKEA lampshade, by the way. It's like nothing expensive. But I took it, I just threw it. Because it came off with ease, and I threw it across the room, and I was like, that's surely dusted. And then I picked it up a couple hours later, and I was able to put it back together. So God bless IKEA for making stuff that can be taken apart and put back together. It didn't break. It was fine. Lampshade is back working just fine. So anyways, thank you, Rue, for that. When I have technical difficulties. Yeah. I don't have them very often, but sometimes I do. The problem is I use really expensive equipment to make this show. The camera that I use is my cinema camera that I use professionally as a cinematographer. All the monitors, everything. And it honestly, it's really great because it has great quality, but it's not designed for what I'm using it for. But I don't want to buy because why should I buy more gear when I don't need to? I should make this work. So that's part of the problem too. Sometimes it doesn't recognize the interfaces because they're higher end than what a lot of these software will actually accommodate. Didn't BHB do her and said she had cats on the counter while cooking? Seen her on Queens, but don't remember details. I don't know anything about. Cindy Joe, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. I'm at peak confusion. Chat was informative though, so enjoy. Okay, well, thanks, Jay Jarvis. Yeah, I'm at peak confusion too. I'm very confused with this, but I'm finding the chat very informative as well. What's up, Granny's Watch? Is this Granny's Watching as in Granny's Watching that's a part of this process? Granny's Watching. Tell us, please. I'm just cluing in now. What is going on? What's going on? What's going on? Unfortunately, oh boy, Granny's Watching. Okay. I want to know in the chat. I would like to know, unless you want to come on the show, I'll send you a link and you can just jump right in. I'd love to hear what your take is on this. Baseless, completely baseless. All right. So these are just people who are just acting crazy and acting crazy. My camera is a Canon C70. Sure, I join. How do we do this? Okay, do me a favor. Put your email in the chat here, and I'll email you the link. That's what we'll do. I think. Hold on. Let me, before I make promises. Oh yeah, I can invite. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, put your email in the chat. I wonder if this bunch met in prison. Ooh, it's about to get good. Cash, thank you so much. Marisol Cam is downstairs, by the way. Marisol is okay. So not your business at where? Great. Fabulous. This will be fun. Oh, hold on. What did I do here? Okay. One second. All right. Oh, come on. How do I copy this? All right. Not. I just can't cut and paste, can I? Not. Yeah. Right? Did I get that right? Not your business. All right, cool. Link. I typed kink. Nope, not that. It's a link. All right. Coming to you from info@callyourlandry.com. I could have had you call in on the number, but this is way more fun. All right, there you go. By the way, Cindy Adams, a new Patreon member, just joined. Thank you so much. If you're watching the program, if you actually joined because you were watching the program, we'll see if she joins here. This will be fun. I guess I should get my little headphones ready. Oh man. I better check and see how much trouble I'm going to be in. Thank God I went and bought birthday cards for my friend. Oh, there's music. There's the music. I can hear the music now. This is great. How funny is this? All right, we will see. We will see. In my opinion, all right, crazed of 5. In my opinion, Granny only replayed Seth and BHB's own words. We'll go ahead and remove this. Granny is great. Don't worry. I mean, great. Love this. Granny doesn't look like a granny from her avatar, but I guess I could be a grandfather. I can't believe I said that out loud. I would have had to have kids really, really young. Well, I remember I dated a director for years, and she was a grandmother. And we were obviously younger than I am now at the time. And I remember the time that I found she had a child in high school. I remember the time I found out that she was a grandmother. I was like, wait, what? I was floored. We'll see if she can get in. Hopefully you, by the way, Granny, you can actually get in, by the way. I think I did this right. Jay, hold on. Jay is for Justice podcast. Funny how that is, right? She watches like a granny. She just watches like a granny. That's funny. Yeah, so she's 35. Yeah, so she's definitely not a granny. The Captain Lee fan and Batman. So it is baseless, and she is using a missing child's name, in my opinion. Okay. All right. No earmuff headphones? Just kidding. No, I have the earmuff headphones too. Those are used for more serious editing. There's the earmuff headphones. These are the earbuds. I like how the music is playing in the background, though. I'm very proud of that. We'll see if she jumps in. Is this the one I had? I started playing this when we were doing the trials with Karen Reed. For those of you that were listening. Okay. Let's go to your thing. Melly says, "Hey, Collier Landry. Hey, Melly, how are you? Seth doesn't want anyone playing his words or discussing him. That's the part of this lawsuit." Okay, so it was what is being alleged is that that these creators have used these people's words against them. That's interesting. Oh man, there are 8 text messages. We're heading back in a bit, okay. Sorry, I had a bunch of text messages here. I gotta. Jenny will come up and talk to you. Jay for Justice will too, as well. Does Jay for Justice want to come on the program too? This is gonna be really interesting. Oh, hold on. Nik the Hat is on parole. Everyone has seen his conviction. There we go. Here's Granny's watching.
Hello.
Granny's watching. What's going on? What's going on? I'm going to go ahead and stop the music.
Wish the circumstances were better, but it is nice to meet you. I apologize. I'm not on my normal setup.
No, you're fine.
So I hope the sound's not too bad or anything.
No, the sound sounds great. What do you guys think? The sound sounds fabulous.
Perfect.
Thank you for joining us. All right. So okay. Now that we have you here, and again, thanks for coming on. Can you explain what is going on? Because this was brought to my attention earlier today. I'm like, what is going on? What is all this? And I'm just kind of talking about the Michigas. So give us some clues. Hip us to what is really going on. Oh, did I lose her? Oh no, it sounded like you were in a car. Oh, she's on mute, but I didn't mute her. Did you mute? I think you muted yourself.
I think I'm having a little bit of internet issues. You were breaking out for me, so I'm going to fix the internet really quick.
Okay, no problem.
Oh, now I can hear you just fine. Okay.
Oh, great. Cool.
So,
so tell us what's going on.
First and foremost, I have not been served.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
I see like one person's in the chat saying I called the father a P word. I've never stated that. Some of the allegations they have in there are very jumbled with other people.
Okay.
I mean, my personal opinion is that I was a PA resident and it was easy to put me in. You need 2 defendants for a RICO clause. And I believe that just being from Pennsylvania automatically made it easy for me to be the target.
Oh, wow. Okay. So quick question. Why is this all taking place in Pennsylvania to begin with?
Well,
Sebastian's from Tennessee.
Right. So there is going to be an issue of venue, which is what we'll be working on. But because this AtNight Media company, intelligence agency, whatever, their name currently is, they're based in Pennsylvania. Okay. So their attorney is part of their team is also based in Pennsylvania.
Wow. Okay. So that's why this has been filed in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And how does Dog the Bounty Hunter fit into all this?
Well, Dog the Bounty Hunter apparently worked some cases with Nik the Hat. They did some fugitive searches. Basically, they're true crime people, but involve themselves in these cases. So apparently Dog is as part of this team. It's ironic because the only people that are on a team is them. There's no other, like this RICO claim. This other defendant that's listed, I've never spoken to her until after this filing took place.
Oh, the barbecue lady?
Barbecue lady. I don't know barbecue lady.
So you cannot answer my question of whether she is a barbecue expert?
Well, she does. She has a catering company.
Ah, there we go. Now we get to the bottom of it. Love it. Okay. So she's just doing her own thing. And she's brought, so you guys come together. I mean, look, Talk About Bounty Hunter, a television show. So, and when you research him, he's been involved in a lot of lawsuits and things like that. And, God rest his soul, his wife passed away. I don't know how long ago, but it was, I think a few years ago, but, God rest her soul. But, there's a lot of, he seems to be saying in a lot of pies. And so maybe he's trying to do this to elevate his stature or kind of become relevant again. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I have no idea.
There's a possibility. I do understand he has a new clothing line as well as he's coming out with a dog cast, which will be like a podcast. And RICO charges usually make media.
Yeah.
It's a very heavy allegation. I mean, when you think of RICO, you think of Modley, the mob, you think of P. Diddy,
sure.
YSL, that rapper. And I'm a single mother from Pennsylvania. I have nothing of power.
Yeah. You're not currently procreating to start your own crime family, right?
No.
Okay.
I've never even considered. Ironic.
So this is actually, this would be my question for you. You see this, it's like a RICO lawsuit. Did you just freak out when you saw this? Like what is
well,
this?
let me explain this to you. So it's ironic how I saw it because we're talking about an enterprise. And I've seen it by people that are considered their team. I've always maintained there should be no teams. This is about a missing 15-year-old.
Yeah. My
commentary, while it has not been favorable towards the father, it has also not been slanderous. I've never, I thought I've been pretty fair. But ironically, it was one of their quote unquote team members that leaked this throughout social media. Again, I have not been served.
Mm-hmm.
So when I heard it, my first thought was RICO. I'm like, RICO. I'm thinking again, mob families and like RICO. Why would I be involved in a RICO claim?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm truly baffled by it. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, so this was filed on Friday. So you've got. I guess we'll see how all this plays out in the next couple of weeks. But this seems very extreme.
It does. It is very extreme. And some of the accusations in there, like I'm being accused of why Bullhorn Betty, Andrea, was arrested in Tennessee.
And why was she arrested?
Well, because the family, the biological mother and the
Proudfoots. The
Proudfoots, yeah. So they actually placed protective orders on her. And she violated the 3. So she has an upcoming court hearing for that. But she is alleging that her arrest was because of me. Well, I didn't make her break the law. You know what I mean? Like how would that be because of me?
Oh.
So those are like some of the claims that are in there. Or like that Michaela woman. I don't know Michaela. I didn't send Michaela in and I didn't force anybody to have sexual relations. You know what I mean? Like some of these allegations are not even within my abilities.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it seems a little extreme. It seems a little bit, far-fetched. This is again when I don't know. And thank you for coming. First of all, thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming on and being so open to talk about this. Thanks for being in the chat. I was like, wait, hold on. Is that great? Hold on. Is this the right person? So thanks for joining us. I think one of the things when I look at true crime, like based on my experience, right? And by the way, I was born in Philadelphia, so I'm a fellow Pennsylvanian. But my experience with all of this is that there's a lot of people that get involved in, and they take up arms, and there starts to be like these like warring factions that happen. And this Bullhorn Betty, who I've never heard a favorable thing about. But people have talked to me about her, and she's somehow like, how how absurd is it that she blames you for her violating the law? Like, and that's the thing with me is where's the accountability of everyone involved, right?
Right. Well, that's how I feel. I mean, that's why I'm hoping that it won't get much further, because the accusations are so outlandish. You know, if Seth decides to have a relationship with a woman named Michaela, where does that put me?
How is it even, and again, you're in Pennsylvania. He's in North Carolina, or I'm sorry, Tennessee. North Carolina, sorry. Tennessee. How could you, are you a criminal mastermind?
No. I am anything but.
So so like when I read through that and you're saying the part with Betty blaming you for her actions, I don't understand how that's even how, first of all, how someone in their right mind can do that and can blame someone else for their actions, but also can just accuse someone, like you're dating someone. I would love to blame my bad relationships on someone else.
I agree. Or like, hey, I was arrested because this YouTube creator said X, Y, and Z. I mean, you know, and another example is they put in there that we came up with a harmful allegation that they were going to use truth serum on people. But they indeed did come out and say they were going to use truth serum on unwilling participants. They stated this. AtNight Media stated this, that one of their techniques is to use truth serum and or hypnosis on unwilling or incapable participants. Nobody fabricated that. They said that.
Is that actually in this document that
it comes up? Yes, it comes up in the document as if I made that up or it was harmful to state. Another ironic thing is one of the plaintiffs emailed me just about 7 days before filing this against me, telling me she has no association with this AtNight company, that she would never work with anybody who would threaten people with truth serum. She has thanked me for being kind to her. And now she has her signature next to all these allegations against me, stating otherwise. I'm like baffled by this. Some of the plaintiffs I've never met, I've never heard of. I can't even put a YouTube handle to who these people are. I don't know them.
Section 77 says that same day it was reported that the plaintiffs AtNight Media and Dog the Bounty Hunter expressed their belief that they, quote, know who is responsible for the disappearance of Tennessee teen Sebastian Rogers and discussed their plans to assist in tracking down the 15-year-old with autism. What do you know about that? Like, do they know who is did they come out publicly and say this?
They have made public allegations that the mother and stepfather have harmed that child. I mean, at one point they've written him off as deceased. Now they're back to saying he's alive, which I'm glad for. Dog the Bounty Hunter did a national news interview where he called the father Seth, Sean, and the missing child Nicholas.
Okay. That's interesting. Where was that at? Was that on like News Nation or whatever?
It was News Nation, yes.
That's interesting. Hey, maybe he's got a lot of cases going on.
They also stated that they were hired. Their elite team was hired to come in and that they had, 24 private investigators, all these things, all these claims. But they have since said they were not hired. And that's one of the things that will need to come out. So on one hand, they stated they were a generous donation of 50,000. I'm sorry, it's 500,000 was given to them to battle any future or current litigation. Well, then you have they're not asking for monetary in this lawsuit. So what is this lawsuit?
Yeah, exactly. What are the damages that have been alleged that you and your because it's not just you and Barbecue Lady. There's like 50 other people, correct?
There is.
There's
allegedly going
to because you're a criminal organization has 50 other people, other YouTubers, your conglomerate. Or
yeah.
I'm saying that very sarcastically, everyone. I'm saying that sarcastically.
Well, and anybody who's familiar with social media will tell you when Duty Ron is doing a topic that I am interested in, I participate. A lot of times, creators who have a similar outlook on a case will collaborate.
Oh, Duty Ron is in the chat. It says, Duty Ron, you want to come on too? Come on down. We'll send you a link.
hoping to hear from you, Duty Ron. I have really been wanting to speak with you. But yeah, so that's how YouTube works. It is based on collaboration. It's based on the algorithm is based around general interest. That's how you came across my feed tonight. So to claim that to be an enterprise or a RICO organization dismisses the entirety of what this platform is built on, which is general interest.
Okay, that's a great point. That's a great point that you just made, because I put your channel link just because it's like I'm putting your channel link, like you can check out, you can because it's like we're looking, first of all, as creators, our job, at least as I look at it, is to look out for one another, and is to be able to support one another in the community. So if and I'm very new to this world. I started a podcast in 2022. I kind of started getting traction in 2023 on YouTube. I started focusing more on the YouTube side of this. I worked with a lot of YouTubers as a cinematographer and creating content for people like Logan Paul, for example. I have directed one of the most successful music videos on YouTube, which is LP's Lost on You Live. I have worked with people like iJustine, and from old, like way back days of YouTube. And I remember a lot of when YouTube was about comedy videos and prank videos and stuff, these people ganging up on one another and going after, and YouTube set forth a lot of policies based upon that. But it would be very hard and very suspect to say that people who are collaborating creatively on a platform are somehow involved in RICO activities is just absolutely absurd, because none of us would be able to like do what we're doing. Like,
right.
If somebody's in the comments making kids, so now I'm responsible for something in the comments. It seems ridiculous. It will also seem that YouTube might even jump in, or something like this. If it got this far, I mean, they probably don't give two shits, to be honest with you. But if it comes up, I mean, that's a great point.
They are claiming that they have reached out to YouTube and other services to pull IP addresses.
They're not going to do that. That's absurd. Well. That's right. Absurd. Those are scare tactics. Like, look, to get back, all these ridiculous accusations for people voicing their thoughts is going nowhere. Where this will be dismissed. That's what Duty Ron says. You guys know how I feel about Betty, and I am not up on all these ridiculous allegations against people for voicing their thoughts. It's going nowhere. This will be dismissed. That's what he says. There you go.
I know PA does have an anti-slap law. Unfortunately, I do believe the intent is to financially burden me, because no matter what, this is a financial burden. Sure. There have been claims that I can sign their paperwork and have this go away before their press conference on Wednesday. But obviously, I need an attorney to even look over what it is that they want me to sign. It just seems like a lot of, I'm with other people. It does seem like a lot of fluff. Nonetheless, it's a very serious accusation.
Yeah, I just always throw this up here. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a psychologist. I don't work in law enforcement. I'm just a guy who's been through a lot of shit. But I will say this, like I have a very good friend of mine who works in federal law enforcement, who his office is the ones that arrested P. Diddy. And we were talking about all these things that as I had said before, I was doxxed and just attacked by trolls on social media last year and into this year, just something that a partner of mine in a podcast did. It just had nothing to do with me. I just tried to make it all go away, and it cost me a lot of money and time. And one of the things is that when these people attack other people online, again, what they don't seem to realize is that the same thing that they are doing, because there are certain ways that in the confines of the law that people can attack you, like they can put your address out on social media. They can say this because then they can argue, and law enforcement will say, they can say, well, I wanted to send them a gift, so I put their information out there. Now, they can't do certain things like put your date of birth out there, or your social security number, or private information, or banking information. That's a big no-no. And so a lot of people think that they can just put out, this is their birthday. That is against the law. Like, you can go after somebody that put your birthday out there.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes, if they put your real date of birth out there, that is considered information that can be stolen. This comes from my friend who works in federal law enforcement. He's like, if they start doing that, you can go after them, and we can go after and charge them for that, because they can't do that. If they could put your address out, you're like, yeah, it's horrible. But again, like I said, the golden rule: you start doxing people, you start putting info out. The amazing thing about the law is, again, not a lawyer, but is that it works for everyone. It is ubiquitous. It works for all of us. So if somebody can do that to you, well, you are afforded the same protections. And so I don't think a lot of these people, when they do these things, they consider the consequences of like, oh, well, if I can get away with this, they can get away with the same thing. They can publish where my kid goes to school, or they can do this, and then, or my address and my home. And then it's like, who's got the crazier posse,
right?
You know? So and again, my heart goes out to you. You said you have a young child, like, and you know, it sucks that you've been caught up in this nonsense. Having to defend
ironic
yourself.
You mentioned doxing, because they're claiming that anybody who's been doxed by any of us, ironically, I've been doxed by this particular person after coming into my chat as I was live streaming one day, telling me, oh, you know, I found the head skunk, and then he started putting punching emojis, and you're in Delaware County, I'll be at your door, and blah blah blah. And then he took to Twitter or X and started doxing out information about me. So that all did take place. And thereafter, of course, this person's on parole. That's the other thing. So one of the plaintiffs has 4 protective orders. The other one is on state parole. And in these filings, you will see that this person was barred from even working or contacting law enforcement.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. So it's funny how a huge group of people got together secretly on a lawsuit that claims a bunch of other people are a secret gang. Shameful publicity stunt, in my opinion. Yes, I think that's absolutely accurate. Jay for Justice podcast is on here. At the Surprise Witnesses, are you still there? I don't know, Jay for Justice. I don't know if you know Jay for Justice or not.
Yeah, I believe she'll be one of the listed upcoming.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So a lot of these. So back to all this. So how did you get into all of this? Did you start just talking about this case with Sebastian, or were you?
Yeah.
Just got it.
So it started off rather harmless, you know, just talking about disappearance about Sebastian, and then I don't know if you're aware, but the father has done an abundance of public interviews.
Mm-hmm.
So then in true crime commentary style, you go over those interviews.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So we started commentating on the interviews, and then we started picking up inconsistencies. And then we started, you know, you go through the inconsistencies, and well, why would this be stated and not that? And, you know, was there internet access? Was there not? Again, my commentary has not always been favorable, but it has always been protected under free speech. It's never been slanderous either. I'm very cautious with what I do. And then he got this PR man, this Tony Mathis guy came on as a PR man, and then they said gloves were off, and they started making heavy accusations towards the parents. And I was very sympathetic towards the parents after hearing everything that was being stated about them on national news. So I kind of took up more of a sympathetic approach towards the mother and the child. Like, this poor child now has all these personal things about him, and I've always maintained I believe he ran away, and this would be perfect reason as to why. Like, what kid could live amongst this type of controversy? It was the things that we know we shouldn't know. They'll always be on the internet. So I took a big disdain towards the father for releasing this type of information to the internet. So I am not speaking favorably of the father, and I believe that's why I'm one of the listed people. Although a person made a big claim, he is a private investigator. He said that he was approached by 2 show companies. I forget the verbiage he used, but that the father and the spokesman have been seeking out, I don't know if this is true, this is what he says, a TV production. which would kind of make everybody's appearances make a little more sense.
Yeah, this is really, man, this is just wild. Again, I don't know any of these people. Thank you for coming on and sharing your side of the story.
Yeah, I think ultimately, I hope people understand and realize this can happen to any creator at any time for your commentary, for your opinions. Things that I'm quoted saying within this, like one of the claims is, I made a gross allegation that Seth Rogers was labeled borderline abusive via the courts, but there are no such documents to back that claim. But what I said and what I'm quoted as saying is Seth Rogers himself said he was labeled borderline abusive by the courts. And I have him saying that. So that, like, some of the things that are in here, they're not, or I said, it's been 9 years, get therapy. Well, that's not slanderous. That's not, it's a statement. It's my opinion. It's solid advice, some would say. Yeah. So I don't understand the grounds of which I'm being sought after. Now, do they have different things on the other woman? Perhaps, but I don't know her. So, to prove a RICO organization or some type of enterprise, or I don't understand how that will be done. I just know it's going to be costly no matter what. And if they do a press conference in my town, because I'm in the same town as these guys, I mean, we're, arm lengths away. This is going to have irreparable damage to my reputation.
You're talking about you're in the same town as what guys?
As the attorney, as Nik the Hat, as AtNight Media. They're all in my backyard. We're all right here in this very small town together.
Well, my heart goes out to you. I'm sorry that you're experiencing all this trouble. Again, like I said, I don't know any of these characters. I don't know, I'm just kind of diving into this with a curious mind of just, this is, again, sort of the dark side of true crime in a lot of ways. I think people go into these things with best intentions and best laid plans to help. And again, as someone who's been, a victim and survivor in this world, I think, my heart goes out to the child and the family but in all of this, it seems like, Sebastian gets lost, which is the most unfortunate thing in all of this. But
it is. And it's even more unfortunate that this is being filed under the guise that is going to find Sebastian. I think that's just as horrific. All of us have failed in one way or another, keeping the focus on Sebastian. I know I've become guilty of that myself. And that's unfortunate. But at the same time, how does silencing 50 plus people keep his name out there either? It's a double-edged sword that we're dealing with here. If you want, it's just really unfortunate. And I pray, if anything, maybe, and hopefully this does result in his discovery and Sebastian makes it home safe and sound. I hope that's the outcome of this. Yeah,
that's the outcome I think that everybody wants. And again, I just dove into this 2 hours and 15 minutes ago now. But I'm definitely,
there's a lot of violence.
There's a lot going on here. And again, I think everyone should, or hopefully wants this young man to be found safe and sound. And, and hopefully he can, everyone can move on with their lives. And hopefully this, just kind of all goes away, but it seems like it's been pretty extreme. So,
I appreciate
anyways, Granny's watching. Thank you so much for joining the program. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on and sharing your take on this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Have a great night.
You see ya. Bye-bye. That was Granny's watching, who is one of the defendants in this lawsuit. And she wanted to weigh in a little bit on that. And we're glad to have her on. Again, wow, this is the whole thing. Wow, it's also getting dark here. I don't like this. Justice light. Okay. Need a little brighter. There we go. That's brighter. Guys, I hope you found that informative. This is a wild story. Again, this is, as I said last year, I made a documentary with Vice and we talked about true crime and people's obsession with true crime and amateur sleuthing and things of that nature. And look, I think a lot of people end up with really good intentions in what they're doing here. But this is unfortunately the dark side of this, is where people's livelihoods get affected and people get caught up in these stories. So, but you know what, guys? It doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you guys think. I mean, don't listen to me pontificate for 2.5 hours. Maybe we should add the phone number and open up the phone lines and see who else wants to chat. How am I going to do this? This is always I think I got to turn the number on. Is that what I got to do? I never know. I never quite know what's going on. Let me put the music back on first. A little lo-fi, no, that's not the one. Is that it? Like that. Oh yeah, this was the one. I want to get open the phone line. Let's see. I gotta turn on the Google Voice. Why does Google always move things around on you? Okay. Your browser might... Nope, we're going to turn it on. Turn off the do not disturb. Oh, yeah, somebody was trying to contact me from this other number. Oh, yeah, they didn't leave a message. Okay. All right. I'm going to open up the phone lines. We're going to see. This is going to be fun. We did this about a week ago. Going to put the number up. I'm going to use my little speaker here. We're going to open up the phone lines. See what people have to say. I guess I should put it over here. Okay, now it's like Instagram's going to ring all the things. Hey, we like your story. Oh my goodness. All right. Going to put the phone up on the chat. Live call-in number 323-400-4846. I would love to hear from you. This is like an old school radio show, but not really. New media at its finest. We'll have the telephone on a little tripod. Shout out to Cat Loves Cat Skills, by the way. She gave me this little suction cup tripod, and it's been so useful. And I added my little contraption to this. I use this little phone holder to shoot a commercial for Samsung about 5 years ago. And it was with 2 Chainz. If you guys know who 2 Chainz is, the rapper, I did a commercial with 2 Chainz, and we were using the Samsungs, and we had to use the actual phones to shoot the commercials. They gave us 40 of these phones or something. I did the same thing with Apple years ago. No 2 Chainz involved in the Apple commercial, but it was we did have to use 40 phones. Open phone lines. 2 belts. I don't know what 2 belts is. Open phone lines. Feel free to call. Feel free to call if you like. Is Karen Fan going to bed? Is that what she said? Karen Fan, you got me started on this train, and now you're going to leave me and go to bed? It was 10 days ago, not me tonight. Yes, it was 10 days ago. Yes, it was. Jessica, this is so great. You should do a call-in show. I'm so tuned into this. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Hello, you're live on air.
Yeah, hi. I just happened to come across your channel here in the algorithms because I've been following this case and all the insanity that goes around it. I'm calling from Arizona.
Thank you for calling from Arizona. What is your name?
Well,
you can use it. You can use a fake name. It's okay. You don't have to tell us your real name.
I don't like my government name on YouTube.
No, you can just say, I'm Sarah, calling from Arizona. I'm going to call you Sarah. Sarah, is that good?
Oh, that'll work. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So what would you like to talk about?
Well, I want to talk about what you're talking about here.
Okay. What's going on?
Well, in my opinion, all this is stemming from one person I'd like to say she's deranged, but I'm not a doctor. But this woman is she's blocking everything. She's only in it for the money, and she's creating this entire whirlwind tornado hurricane amongst the YouTube streets. And now we got a RICO case. Good hell, these people that she's accusing have done nothing wrong. They have done nothing worse than she has done, and she has a criminal record, a real live criminal record. Do I need to mention her name? I don't have a problem doing that.
No, let's refrain from, just for my sake. I'm sure people can figure out who I don't know who you're talking about, but let's. Well,
and here again, it's my opinion.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not a creator, and I really don't have anyone's side. I'm not going to say so-and-so is right and so-and-so is wrong, but this one particular person, in my opinion, is bad news, is like toxic to the whole case. She's only in it for the money.
So you feel that she has? So you feel that this person has? So you've been watching this, correct? You've been obviously very involved, and in Arizona, you're a long way from Tennessee, a long way from Pennsylvania, but you've been actively watching this and involved in this case as a viewer.
As a viewer, but not as a chatter.
Got it.
I don't get involved in all the I don't know what you want to call it, the hoo-ha that goes on, and the drama and all that.
The scuttlebutt, to use the parlance of our time, the scuttlebutt.
Thank you, scuttlebutt. I don't chat. I normally don't make phone calls, but and I never go on anyone's panel. I think I might break someone's camera. But what I'm trying to say is, I feel like this is all frivolous, and it's all just wasting time and money, and it's dragging people's names through the mud who do not deserve it.
Yeah. Definitely something is rotten in Denmark. Again, I'm not a legal expert. I'm not, I'm just, as I say, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a, I'm not a psychologist. I don't work in law enforcement. I'm just a guy who's been through a lot of shit. But I do think that there's a lot to this that has, that we're just scratching the surface.
Well, I think a lot of it's just underhanded on her part.
Yeah, on their part. I'm gonna say, Sarah from Arizona, thank you so much for calling in. We have another person, so our phone lines are in demand, so I'm gonna get to them. But thank you for calling the show. I greatly appreciate you you weighing in.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Hi, you're live. Oh, it went away. Damn it. New missed call from a 404 number. Should we call the number back? Let's try to. Oh, no caller ID. Hello, you are on the air.
Hello. So I would just like to say, generally about this whole situation, I definitely agree. There's something just not right.
Hold on 1 second. What is your name that you're going to use for online? And where are you calling from? You don't have to use your real name. Pick up a name.
Yeah, no problem. So Danielle.
And where are you calling from, Danielle?
And the Midwest.
The Midwest. Okay. That is a large area, but I'm also from the Midwest, so it covers a large swath of the country. But go ahead, Danielle. Sorry.
I would just say, I guess, there's just something just doesn't seem right. And I definitely, of course, I'm not going to make any accusations, and I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that, pinpointing or accusing anyone in particular. But there's something definitely not right about the whole situation. And what I wanted to call and point out is that, and I'm just looking at my statistics here, in the U.S., an estimated 840,000 children are reported missing each year, which is more than 2,000 children per day. So I just, in my opinion, it starts to come across as really ungrateful and irrational, like when certain people close to this situation, involved in the situation of this missing, and the family are acting a certain way, because, it's just, what makes your this situation any more important than the other thousands of, missing person cases? And
that's a great point.
Really frustrating.
That's a great point because
That's
a great point that you make, because there are a lot of cases that there are a lot of parents who are looking for answers, and to have this case be so high profile and get so much attention, national media attention, social media attention, it is interesting. And maybe, I don't know. I don't want to chastise anyone, but I do appreciate your opinion. I appreciate you calling. Danielle from the Midwest, thanks for calling the show. We'll talk to you later. Yeah. Oh, this is too much fun. Sorry, I don't mean to hang up on people or too early or be rude. There are people that are calling in. I'm sure somebody else is going to call in here in a second. I know it's a little unconventional. We're holding the phone. We're doing the speakerphone. There's a software that I can use to work this, but sometimes it just doesn't. It just doesn't work. Somebody called from a 404 area code. You can try to call again if you like, because you were calling in. Apparently it goes. There's no. Apparently it won't just send it to voicemail. It allows call waiting. I'll figure this whole Google Voice thing out eventually, but we'll see. But please feel free to call back the 404 from the 404, which I don't know where the area code is. I used to work in phone cards, and I used to remember area codes pretty well, but now not so much. We did have a super sticker. Cindy Joe, thank you so much for the super sticker. Sarah Holman, thank you so much for the super sticker. Sherry Falls, thank you so much for the super sticker. Lynn Britton, thank you. The folks that want that child found is so fed up with the crazy attached. Things were not right from the first day he was missing. Interesting. The Marisol camp. Oh, here we go. And it says, by the way, call your Landry staff. Isn't that great? Okay. Oh no! What is happening here? What? All right, 404. We're going to try this one more time. Hi, you're live on air.
Hi, I was calling. I'm from the 404 number.
You're the 404. And do you have a stage name you want to use? We're Hollywood people, so we use stage names. So
True You News.
True You News. Oh, okay. Is that a real, or you want to True You News? And you are calling. So where are you calling from?
404, which is in Georgia.
Georgia. Oh, that's right. Georgia. Thank you. Georgia. Yes. 404.
Georgia. Yeah.
I
so
knew
I'm
that.
calling. Thank you. I found your channel, of course, because of the headline. I am only someone that is, watching behind the scenes. I don't really interact with any of the people that are going in on this, Sebastian Rogers case. I will say I do appreciate you bringing Granny on. I feel for her. I really think she's good. Jay for Justice. I wish you would bring her up too. I really like her insight on everything.
Well, I offered to have her on, but she didn't respond unless I missed it in the comments. So I apologize if I did.
I gotcha. Yeah. So, but I am gonna put my accusations out there. I think it's horrible what the biological father is doing, because ever since pretty much close to the beginning, I mean, it pretty much shifted over to where it's all about notoriety and money. And I mean, I have 3 boys. If I had any of them missing, I mean, I don't know what I would do, but I know I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I mean, again, so I do want to just I look, and I understand your personal. Oh, my hair is just a mess right now. I do want to say this is your opinion. This is not the opinion of the show. And I appreciate you expressing that. I am somebody who, I just did a great episode yesterday, which came out. I interviewed the world's #1 grief expert, and one of the things we were talking about in grief was, how people process it and people's sort of judgment on other people. Oh, they're not crying enough, or oh, they're not this. So I do want to refrain from judging anyone on how their response is.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you know, I just don't want to, that's a very slippery slope to me. So I just want to make sure, but you are expressing your opinion, and you as a mother, I do understand. Look, I don't have children, so I'm in no way, shape, or form, in any way other than what I've been through as a child, in any way able to speak in terms as a parent of what they would be going through. So I want to refrain from that, but I do appreciate what you're saying. And I thank you for offering your opinion.
Yeah. And thank you for covering this. I think the more the people know, the better. It is pretty sad that nobody's actually talking about Sebastian Rogers.
Yeah.
Because that's a 15-year-old boy that's out there. I think he probably was snatched, maybe an online predator. I mean, that happens.
It happens way too often. Yes.
Yeah, it does. You do hear stories.
Yeah.
It's really sad, but no, thank you though for, and I did subscribe. I'm actually interested in grief because everybody experiences grief.
Yes.
In one way or another, whether they're a parent or a sibling or a friend.
Yeah. Yeah, it is the thing. Yeah, I would encourage you to watch the episode with David Kessler. It's a fantastic conversation that we have. It's a quick listen. It's about 45 minutes. So I would check that out on the channel. Not to plug my channel, but you are here. So and my podcast, and please rate, review. Please give us a 5-star review on Apple and Spotify. It really helps. But no, I appreciate you.
Well,
I appreciate you calling in. Thank you so much.
And do what you're doing and highlight this case, because whatever's going to happen here is going to probably make some changes for everybody else on YouTube.
I think so. I think there's a lot. That's why I think this is much bigger. I mean, it should be about Sebastian Rogers, but it's much bigger than this. I can see the slippery slope that this is going down. Yeah. Anyways, that's my opinion. So, thank you so much, 404 Georgia, for calling. You have a wonderful day. You will be on our mind.
You too. Bye.
Georgia, the whole day through, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. There's a great recording of Ray Charles singing that song. What a fantastic song. Thank you so much for calling. We are receiving calls for a little while. They even offered to help. Wow, these comments just jump really fast. Thank you all for joining the program today. Thank you for joining the chat. It is 5:35 Pacific time. So what is that, 8:35? I don't think I've ever gone this long on a live before, but this is kind of cool. And Cash said Marisol came. Yeah, Marisol's down. Marisol is over this, by the way. Marisol is like, look, I am just done with this. 8:30 here, says True Crime Lullabies. I'm a wee bit late. It's like 1:36 in the AM. Oh yeah, you're a wee bit late, Vixie Blaze. Yes, you yes, you are. It is yeah, it is. It's late, all right. Half 1 a.m. Yeah, Black Widower hanging in. Very cool. As I said, my neighbor is over in your area of the world right now. He is in Scotland, which I know is not where you live, but close enough. Closer than Los Angeles, that's for sure. This is a long one for me. Yes, it is. Gen X to 7th Power. Hey, I'm having a great time though. It's my friend's birthday tonight, so I'm watching her on the she's like, I'm like, are you home yet? No. Oh, I see. Oh, you're stuck in traffic. Great. Keep being stuck in traffic. Get ready. Yeah. Okay. Great. I'll have time to fill out her birthday card too. That will be fun. Anyways, Mover Nation, this is great. I am sorry that I'm really sorry about my 49ers, but I think I'm giving up on the season. I had really high hopes, but we should have won the Super Bowl last year. That was our chance and we missed it. So There you have it. Lenore says dinner time. New sub from Australia. Thank you so much. I just went past a place that was called Bondi, Bondeye. They were being very cheeky. But I was like, I've been to Bondi Beach, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I've had some great photographs I took over there. One of these days, I will put my photography up, and everyone will get to see it. All right. Well, I'll put the Cash App up. I'll go ahead and delete some of these banners, by the way. And you can also support the program, as I said, by going and shopping on Amazon using my Amazon Associates link, amazon.com/shop/Call Your Landry, and check that out. It really helps. We get a small little fee. It helps keep the lights on here. What is everyone watching on Netflix? It is Halloween is upon us. What is everyone watching on Netflix? Holiday flicks. Bondi Beach. Yes, Sydney. I had a great time. I was in Australia for a month. Had a fantastic time. Tara. Bondi Beach is one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen in my life. Small, like a small beach, but very big. And you go to the what is it? The bars that are so there's icebergs. So I actually have Bondi icebergs on my cinematographer's reel. Went to icebergs. Or about an iceberg, but there's also the what do they call, the RSVs or the RSPs, which is where the military guys, or if you're a military family member, you can go and you can have food and drink. You can watch cricket. You can watch the football, rugby, and it's a bar. And if you go into the RSV or RSV. You can get like discounted drinks and discounted food. Like the drinks are like nothing. And first of all, if you're an American and you go to Australia, the American dollar is like $1.30 over there, and everything is the same price. At least it is in Los Angeles. Everything is like the same price, so you really feel like your dollar is really stretched over there. It's a beautiful country. I cannot encourage anyone enough. RSL, thank you. The RSL, Tara. Yes, the RSL. And but you can't be a local. You can't be a local to the RSL that you want to go in. So I use my passport or my driver's license from California, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're not a local. You can come on in." It's pretty cool. It's pretty groovy. At Redondo Beach, what is going on with Redondo Beach? Is there a Redondo Beach person here? Not too far. I can see it's a beautiful, clear day. We've had really high winds in Los Angeles over the last. We had the Santa Anas. It's this time of year. We had 10, 30 mile an hour gusts here, up to 50 mile an hour gust here in Santa Monica, and I can see all the way to the Palos Verdes Peninsula. I can see all the way down to Catalina Island from my window here too. If I just go over here like this, I can see the ocean. It's a beautiful, clear day. I was down there earlier running. It was fabulous. Trashy Love is Blind. That's what you're watching. I got it. Redondo Beach, thank you so much for the super sticker. Hey, they are adding Viacom. Are they adding Viacom CBS if this is RICO? Maybe. That would be that's a very interesting point. We will see what happens. We will see what happens with this case, this particular. I mean, this is like what makes me so interested in this is the overall commodification of true crime. That's where I look at this from. Commodification of true crime, the people who get themselves involved in these cases. And like I said, road to hell is paved with good intentions, but there are really good people who really have the best of intentions to find Sebastian and really want to be a part of something and really want to help. And it's like the lines get kind of blurred, and when commodification becomes a part of this, and then you have people who are nefariously being involved. And I'm not saying that anyone is. I'm not making those accusations because I don't know. I don't know any of these people. Granny's Watching was kind enough to join the program to give her side of the story and what she feels and why she feels she's been implicated in this. And I appreciate her opinion and her coming on and being bold enough to talk about it. That's really, really cool. Thank you for all the callers that called in as well, expressing your opinions. It's really awesome. This is what makes this show so unique. We will figure out how I don't have to hold a telephone up to the microphone in the future. But no, in all seriousness, this is what I find to be so interesting, and I think that there's going to be a lot of creators have been talking about it for a long time. There's going to be a sort of reckoning in true crime because it's just such big business, and you just see so many people just, again, a lot of this stuff centers around people's personal trauma and sorrow, and that's it's kind of sticky. And I'm not excoriating or chastising anyone for consuming this content, because I know why a lot of people do it. A lot of you have expressed why you consume true crime content. There are a lot of people out there who have been in situations in their life where they have not seen justice carried through, and have not found that loved one, or have not have had a lot of personal experience dealing with stuff like this. And you guys you guys tune in because you want to see people get justice, and that's why you find this channel, because I did that as a child and as an adult. So I appreciate you guys being here. Mover Nation, we get through another one. 2 hours 39 seconds, or 2 hours 39 minutes and 21, 22, 23, 24 seconds. You guys have been here a long time. You've hung out for a while. If you have not, guys, while I have you here, please smash that like button. We have like 500 people. Let's get if we can get to 500 likes before I end this program, I'm going to be super stoked about it. It really, really helps. J is for Justice. Unless you want to come on, unless you want to jump on join the fray, we could have you on. Let me track my little friend who I'm waiting on. Let's see where she's at. But yeah, smash that like button, please. Yeah, everybody was awesome. Big shout out to Karen Fan, who said you should talk about this today. I blame her. If this goes sideways, I blame her. I'm kidding. But she's the one that brought it to my attention. So Jay is blocked, thank goodness. Oh, okay. I don't know. Anyways, I have no idea. All right. Well, anyhow, tracking or stalking the friend. Well, this friend voluntarily shares her location with me. We voluntarily share each other's locations, and yeah, I'm just like, oh, is she home yet? She also drives much faster than I do, so she can get home much quicker than I can. They were down in Rancho Palos Verdes celebrating her birthday, so yeah. Anyways. All right, Mover Nation, we get through another one. Let's see. Hold on. Where are our likes at? 492. I'm going to refresh. Yeah, I don't know. Jay is not blocked. Jay is not blocked by me. I have no idea. Jay wouldn't be blocked from YouTube, and it wouldn't matter if Jay was blocked from YouTube if she was on here, because I can just send her a link. Doesn't really matter, or send them a link. Jay's a woman, I believe, right? Charlotte's Webbing. Kloops, did you hit the like button for Collier? Yes, please, please, please. I got 501. Look at this. Fabulous. Fabulous. Bondi spelled correctly. Yeah, it is. Bondi spelled correctly. Yeah, it is not Bondeye, as the cheeky little place likes to have that. Likes to call it. I did it. Woohoo. Guys, we got to 500 likes. We also crossed over 56,000 subscribers the other day. So thank you all for that as well, because that's pretty amazing and pretty awesome. We're at 56,451 subscribers. This is, wow. So a lot of people came through today. This was a good topic to True You Heart. Oh, hold on here. We're going way. What to do? You were number 501, Proud Mimi. Thank you so much, Proud Mimi. Anyways, I appreciate it. I'm genuine. Thank you so much, Cash, for saying that. Yeah, I am genuine. That is the heart of this channel. The core of this channel is authenticity. I am here, warts and all. Anyways, Mover Nation, we get through another one. I appreciate you guys. We'll probably do longer live streams now, because tell a friend about Collier. It says tell a friend about Collier. Thank you so much, Gen X to the 7th power, for saying that. Yes, please tell your friends. This is a great place to be. Just got our call here. Who is getting? Just getting her. Hope. No, this is Bullhorn Betty has followed a lawsuit with others. Check out, watch the replay. And by the way, like honestly, like I'm talking through it. The best information comes from the chat with you guys. Like you guys interacting in the chat. Like you guys are really what make these lives awesome. By the way, you guys, my audience, because you guys chat and talk with one another and share stories and engage with one another. And that is by far and away more than I can ever do. And it's so greatly appreciated. I appreciate everyone who's here and sharing your information and your opinions. This is a place. And also, thank you for keeping it a safe space. Thank you for not attacking one another. This is not a channel where we like to have people attacking, using nasty profanity, down, putting down others, shaming them, any of that. We don't like any of that. And the mods do a fantastic job keeping everyone in line. Especially me, Y'all text me. They're like, "Oh, call your something," But that's what makes it all. And again, as I always say about true crime, guys, please take a great break from this stuff. Don't let it consume your life. Be with your families. Enjoy one another. There are beautiful things in this world that are not so sinister, that do not carry really heavy shit with it. That don't drag us down. There are beautiful, happy endings in this world for a lot of people. There are amazing things. I mean, look at me. I'm a happy guy. I'm a genuinely happy guy. I've been through a tremendous amount of trauma and shit in my life, but I'm here to share my experiences in my life with you guys and with the world. And hopefully I can make the world a little bit of a better place, better than when I found it. I'll leave it better than when I found it. On that note, Mover Nation, we get through another one. Remember, as always, please be kind to one another. And here's the outro. Mover Nation, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to all my channel members and Patreon supporters. And for more exclusive content, behind the scenes videos, monthly VIP meet and greets, and watch parties, please consider supporting me on Patreon or by becoming a YouTube channel member. If you like this video, check out this one right here or this one right here. And don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps with the algorithm. On that note, I'm Collier Landry. I'll see you on the next one. Good girl, Marisol. Good girl.